Welcome, people, to Dog Pound DnD, where things happen and then we do time warps back into the past, and it's all fine. Because having an attention span that can be measured in nanoseconds is a solid trait. So we find ourselves in a submarine, having not known anything about giant serpents, sharks, no whales have been murdered at this point. We are just cruising along on our way to our destination.
We gotta kill a whale when we get a chance, guys.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I'm okay
Foreshadowing.
with this. It just seems natural.
Just, let me kill the whale. I like whales.
What if I told you you could turn into a shark in order to kill the whale? Just hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically speaking.
But where would I find a giant shark?
Well, I guess we're lost on that one.
Oh look, there's a giant shark.
Oh!
And as you go, oh, the broom starts shaking, and out of it comes. Oh, damn, you're tiny in this map. Much smaller than this, but for illustrative purposes, this motherfucker. And he just starts shaking his head and like.
Oh,
Back down to science.
oh, fuck.
I didn't know liches could still have skin and stuff. I got to tease Paladin about this later.
Fuck is this guy?
Sorry, just that I know this lich and he doesn't have any skin. He's a skeleton.
Let's see. This is. Wait, is this lich? We have lich now? Oh.
I think, Derek, Witch Terrified is going to point he wanted the witch. Don't make me cast fireball.
Why is your answer to every soul? Oh, wait, no, you know what? I will not
He
say
kind of like
things.
flips his hair. It's like, I'm not a lich. We don't call ourselves that.
He is not lich. See, he is not lich.
Oh,
What
do you
are you
pronounce
then?
weird? Do you pronounce it like lick?
We're just a little living impaired. Obviously.
No, that's not how that works at all.
That's
Actually,
his name of undead.
I get it.
Undead
gonna
are
kill us?
living impaired.
more like living unpaired because you've been unpaired from life. Ew.
Are you going to kill us?
I don't even know who you are. Why is there water outside the windows?
We're in the ocean.
It rained a
Morgan.
lot.
I have class
Like a
tomorrow.
lot. It rained a lot.
I stole a broom
That's
from
all.
the broom closet. So that I take out the broom and show him the phylactery. And if you do anything to harm us, I will break this.
What? Just it kind of holds. What did I do to you?
You're a lich. Lich, you're
You
obvious.
took
You're
me
very
from my
dangerous.
home and threatened to murder me.
He does have point. You have now committed. You are now committing kidnapping, and you also are now threatening to murder a man.
I had my
I
finals
just so
tomorrow.
confused as how you fit
I have-
a lich
where-
inside the broom.
Can I have my finals tomorrow.
We are in world with magic. It is impossible to fit anything inside of broom.
That is fair point.
Oh.
No, go ahead, spit it out. We'll wait for you to finish.
He has finals to do tomorrow, but so hopefully you speed up before finals are due. Don't know what those are. What are finals?
I think it's where you turn into a living impaired.
Oh, I already did that.
I thought it was.
Wait,
when
you're a
you
lich?
did sex.
We
No, we discussed it. It's not that.
we kicked your phylactery out of the broom closet because we figured you'd be too dangerous at the school and endanger the students' lives.
I paid tuition there. I had a room.
I didn't know you were a student.
Did you
Why
ever
else
think,
would I be there?
you know, did you ever think to ask Mayor Man if he knew about the Lich? Honestly, I'm more surprised that no one drank it because everyone kept threatening to drink the liquid inside Broom. I
You were
don't know
going
why.
to drink my act. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Don't look at me. Everyone else was like, "Let's drink liquid," and I'm like, "This is a bad idea."
I
Don't
don't
look at
remember
me. I
this at
didn't even
all.
know he had a broom.
Then you're not part of this. It was before we found you.
Okay, I'll just go now then.
What?
I know. I'm not saying you had to leave. Okay, the fairy's gone now.
Hold on. I think you missed your finals.
Oh yeah, we picked you up like weeks ago, man.
Oh my god.
That's it. See, and he points at the rain outside.
I'm
He's
never
like, "That's
gonna
how
be
much it
able to
rained.
afford
That's how
another
long it's been."
semester.
What?
I'm never gonna be able to afford another semester.
Well, that's fine because it's gone. The whole college is gone. We're technically an
What did you
airship.
do to
and
the
we're on water,
college?
though.
If you help us on this mission, I will help pay for your next for another semester for you.
How am I getting back? Where are we?
We are under the
In the sky, or what used to be the sky.
we are we forgot that you were in our backpack and we're currently going to the Sea King.
See, I
Or
don't.
Mermaid King.
I can't figure out what everyone has different story now, and I can't keep things straight. I'm going to leave room. You figure out everything. Goodbye.
He's okay. The range has been putting him on edge lately because you know it doesn't stop.
But after we're gonna miss, I promise I will that our friend can bring you back to magic school, and I am willing to pay for your next semester and a little bit more as an apology for this.
What about the pain and suffering?
What pain, suffering?
I have to think about you drinking me.
No, it wasn't me.
Do you know how violated that makes me feel? You wanted me inside of you.
Oh, and now
Some
you have to
people,
pay
some
for
places
his
take that
fucking
as compliment.
therapy.
Just saying.
No, like I said, Mr. What's your name?
Living impaired.
My name is not living impaired. It's Steven. You
That's what you said you were. We're like, oh, he's a lich, and you're like, I'm living impaired, and we're like, oh, that must be his name.
Well, we don't call each other liches.
Well, you know what they say, liches get bitches, which is a lot better than stitches, like the snitches get.
I assure you, I pull plenty
Witches
of
get hitches, and I've never quite understood
bitches.
what that means. But the kids, when I grew up, they said lots of weird things.
What's his name? What did you say your name was?
Steven.
I'm Shraga.
Steven, I never once drank you. I never once threatened to drink you. It's just the others were goofing around.
With my phylactery that you stole from my house, and you think the only thing that you have to make up for is that I need to take all of my classes over a whole nother semester again and waste multiple months of my life doing so. And your solution is I'll pay for your next semester.
I'm sorry. Well, oh shit.
And I will remind you that the headmaster guy in the school did talk about Johnny the Lich as a student.
Oh.
Just may have forgotten.
I don't think we can do anything besides paying you. Oh my god. Oh my god, what have I done?
Is everything done the solving now? No?
Unless you
Why
can get
not?
me home or to somewhere I can go home.
Yeah, I do not.
Well,
have-
you're a lich, right? So you don't need to. You don't need to
Oh.
breathe very specifically. That's a thing you don't need to do.
I suppose.
So we can just open the hatch and let you float up to the surface right now.
He just puts his hand in his head.
Actually,
If you're going to murder me, just get it done with.
It's not murder.
No,
It's
no,
just
wait.
sending you quickly.
I don't float.
Oh, that's fine. We got like a buoy jacket that'll make you float.
So your solution
No, but
is
that's-
kick me out of the ship that you kidnapped me into and make me swim back to the nearest
Well, why
civilization.
were you hiding in the broom? That's pretty suspicious.
That's my phylactery!
Whoa.
I
Look
don't
at
care
it!
how many of them
He
that can
snatches
make
the-
of you.
Derek, do you take his
I
broom,
just
or
wanted to
do you
know,
let him
like-
snatch it?
Technically, you stowed away. We didn't steal you. You stowed away because we just took a broom and now you're a person.
Derek, do you let him take the broom?
Yeah, I'm going to let him take the broom.
He takes
What's
it and he
still happen?
points it out and he goes, "What part of these magic runes doesn't say phylactery?"
I don't speak phylacterin.
You also, for those who were actually there were very bad Arcana checks made on this broom.
Yeah.
So
I rolled
it
zero
wasn't
on
like
that
it was like a
lore.
10 or an
Fantastic
11,
identify.
and it was real bad.
I rolled a 4. Derek's the only one who figured out it was a phylactery, and he,
And that
and
was
he was
with
like,
the only
"I'm
thing
taking
he
this
paid.
away." And you should-
Yeah.
That was literally, it's like, why are you taking it? It's like, I'm taking this. You didn't inform anyone that it was a phylactery.
So
No,
he
I
goes,
remember
"It's right
having
there
a
on."
discussion about it.
We kept discussing because you figured out how to open it with a good investigation check. We saw the liquid, and then someone was like, "Maybe we should drink it," and it was like, "No, that's not a good idea." And then you rolled another Arcana check. You nat 20 that, and that's when we finally figured out it was a phylactery. And after that, you sealed it shut and stored it in your bag.
And it did have property of this guy on it. Wait, wasn't it somebody? Didn't he have an actual? Didn't he have a different name?
I don't remember at this point. It was so long
like
ago when we
Johnny-
talked about
Johnny
who this
something.
guy is.
It was Johnny something. We're gonna go back and say it's Johnny. 'Cause it was Johnny something. It was clever. I forget what it was. It should be in
Bravo?
Derek's inventory as somebody's broomstick.
Yeah, it's mine. Oh, Johnny's broomstick.
I was a little confused as to why we
Yeah,
had
Johnny.
Johnny's phylactery and then Steven came out of
Yeah,
it. but I
no, it
wasn't
is
gonna say
Johnny. It
anything.
is Johnny. That was just my poor memory. Always call me out. I have a horrible memory.
Okay, so we have the Johnny here. He needs to go home. Does anybody have the magic that could send him home? Or do we lack that?
Yeah,
Don't you
it's
have
called the
any
door.
wizards
We open
here?
it, he walks out,
Any
he
wizards
floats
in
out.
this
Fine.
group of people?
What?
We probably need Trevor. I think Trevor can get him back.
We don't just say, "Oh, I wish Trevor was here." He just shows up because we are under the fucking ocean.
Under the sea.
Every time we want to talk to Trevor, what do? We either had the mailman do it for us, or we went to his house to talk to him. He didn't just say it. Show up and look, here he is. Even those who follow gods know that when you ask your god, "Hey, can you show up?" they usually say, "Nah, man, do it yourself."
I mean, we're in the ocean, so my god's kind of technically already here.
Didn't you have
I mean the
contact,
rain.
Alvin?
Can't you talk to fish? Couldn't you like have like a killer whale ride him back or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
You
mean,
like
if I found a
Aquaman
killer
or
whale
some
that I could
shit?
convince to do that, but I already offered to let him outside the boat, and he didn't seem too keen on
He
that
doesn't want to
idea.
swim for miles on miles.
He wouldn't have to swim; he'd just have to float up, and then once
We're
he's
nowhere
up,
near.
fine.
We're nowhere near
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah, I know that, and you know that, but does Johnny?
No.
No,
there you go.
but he doubts it because they said they were hundreds of miles away.
You said Derek did. You were saying one thing, and then Derek was telling the truth, and he said that we're on our way away from the Ocean Emperor.
Yep.
No, we're going to the Ocean Emperor.
No, we already got the ship.
Yeah,
so that
no,
means we've
yeah,
been
we
to him.
delayed it just for sake of continuity.
Yeah, if we have the ship, we've been to the Ocean Emperor. The ship doesn't exist if we haven't gone to him.
Yeah.
And where are we going?
You
We're
are
going to the underwater
reef.
city
You haven't
of
met the
New
evil
York.
things yet.
We're doing to New York City at this point.
Yep.
The whole reason this entire campaign, this whole party is going to New York City to delve into the underwater ocean city that was sunk because of their affront against their god Momoa.
Jason Momoa?
Maybe.
Just Momoa, but it is loose. That is where the name comes from.
Hey Johnny, when we get to where we're going, I promise we'll find a way to get you back. I'm sure that
And where are you
We'll
going?
find a way.
So you ever hear the rumors, the legend of a lost city under the ocean?
Oh my god, I've been captured by crazy people.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, sorry.
There's no
Oh
good
my
way
God.
to sugarcoat that one. I wouldn't say captured. I'd say accidental stowed away kidnapping. Which
What
I'm
are you
not quite
gonna
sure
do
which one it
next? You're gonna
qualifies
tell
for.
me that
Because
you're
as the captain, I was unaware of you being here, so technically you're a stowaway. By
Is
all
the- is-
legal
is the treasure
maritime laws,
map-
you're a stowaway. But if somebody else stowed you away, then technically you're kidnapped.
Do you have a map where you're going?
Why
how
would
do
I need a map?
So how do you know? Lord help me. I swear to
Oh, I'm a
God,
priest
Theo.
of Momoa, so
Oh, not
you know,
that guy. No, it's fucking.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's I am really.
You're fucking hell. That's like that sounds painful.
It's just mostly wet, actually. I don't know why you're freaking out so bad.
All right, how about this? We give you a shit ton of drugs and alcohol, and you just stay in a room, and we forget about you until we're on the surface, and you're like, "Hey, can I go back to the college I was at? 'Cause you guys fucking kidnapped me."
I like this idea because I don't have to then deal with you.
And one platinum.
I would like to figure this out right now. Hold on.
Hey,
Who the fuck has the alcohol and who has the drugs? Because I don't
Yeah.
remember us
Do you
having
guys?
drugs.
Yeah. There's no Ikarath here.
And I don't remember. I
This
don't
is
remember
not
any
right.
of us carrying drugs into the underwater city with us, and I don't remember anyone bringing alcohol with us.
I mean,
This is
Lucy
my
might.
third group I've been with, and you guys don't have any drugs or alcohol, really? That's like,
Oh, Lucy has drugs. Just at this time, you guys.
I left
don't
all
know.
my alcohol on my ship, which I got so excited having a new underwater ship that I forgot to go back and restock and grab Paladin and stuff.
We don't have the alcohol or the drugs.
This is gonna.
I don't have any solutions here. Do realize that
Why
my
don't you just
solutions.
take me to a city?
He is captain. I have no say in anything.
Oh god, he's gonna shoot me out the fucking window.
Just saying that if you want me to open one, I do have the abilities to let you out the ship. I could even task like a nice little fishy to like guide you back to land. Or a nice big fishy if you're comfortable with that.
it might honestly be better for you to test your luck with a fish than go with us.
Oh my god.
I mean,
On the other hand, would you
you
like
think
the,
it's-
would you like to try helping us out on our quest? We've got to go down there and kill a bunch of monsters.
No,
and
I
find a
don't
bunch of
want to
treasure.
associate with you crazy people.
Oh, there's no association. You just get paid.
How about you just... I'll take your fucking whale, but how much would it take for somebody to retire at like, not like super rich, but like country club rich?
Oh, probably about as much as we're about to go grab. You know.
Actually,
Actually, we might be getting enough that you could retire super rich.
How much? No, how much would that cost if you wanted to be paid off like country club rich?
Oh, you mean if I wanted to get paid off like that?
No, if John, like in the D&D
Meta's
world,
trying to talk out of.
Out of
Meta's trying to
character.
talk
But
out
you've
of
got the voice
character right now.
changer. You've got the
out of
voice changer on.
character.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, out of character.
Yeah, out of character. He's trying to say, out of character, how much money does it take to live
Yeah.
country club rich, which requires 10,000 platinum.
Holy fuck. And
Yeah, it's expensive to retire at that kind of, because you need an estate at least, and then it'd have to produce stuff. You'd have to have going money
so
into
much.
it and stuff.
Yeah, 10,000 platinum, because people were talking about it in a D&D discussion, was, what if you got
way
10,000
too
platinum? It's
much.
like, you retire. You don't need to work, become an adventurer anymore. You fucking retire.
Party,
That's 100,000 gold. It's equivalent of like,
Party
I think
3
it's
is rich as fuck right now.
it's the equivalent of 150, it's like $150 million, I think, is something like that.
Party 3 got 7,000 gold apiece.
70,000 gold.
70,000, sorry, I was wrong.
What if we get him a nice cushy job with one of the rich people we know? How about that?
He'd still have to go sail there on the fish.
You could get Alvin to sponsor him.
if
Alvin's
you want, I
an
can actually
influential
send
man.
I can use the singing spoke message to Trevor right now, actually.
Wait a minute, Derek, can't you teleport?
Only by 500 feet.
Oh.
He doesn't have
Hey,
the
Johnny, would you like to be 500 feet away?
As much as I would love to be as many feet away from you.
as I can just handle, I don't think that's beneficial for me at this moment in time.
Okay, good. So we're agreed on that. Because basically, as I see it, your options are we open the hatch and you float away, and maybe or not, a fish goes with you. And Derek pays for your next semester of college. Or you can come with us and you can retire instead of going to college.
Be treated by the best way.
What's the worst that could happen? You're gonna die? No, you're not. You're a fucking lich.
Yes, but you're going to the sunken city of New York City. If this goes wrong, my broom doesn't float. I will
we got a
never
little-
leave.
We could give it a little buoy. Like I could wrap it like a life jacket around it and just let it go. And then that way when you reform, you're just somewhere in the ocean.
If like a cleric or a holy person finds him, won't they try and kill him?
Yeah, because there's just so many
There's
of
not
those
a-
scouring the ocean for brooms.
True, yeah.
No. Very specifically, there's a whole bunch of them right now.
Are holy people supposed to be killing cleric liches? I don't understand.
No, it's brooms that they hate.
There are generally liches are not well accepted. Elven City is more of an exception than the rule.
Yeah, I think it's because you guys are a bunch of pricks. Like, we just found you in the broom, and now you're not
Kidnapped.
in the broom. You're welcome.
Correction.
And you're like, you
Correction.
guys are crazy. I couldn't
Kidnapped.
help you in a million years.
Okay, let
I
me
don't know how to
let me
swim.
explain why you're crazy. You're going to
Mhm.
find a city that no one's been able to find ever in the history of ever. Thousands of people have perished
Yes.
in pursuit of the riches. And in doing so, you've kidnapped a college student and brought
Actually,
him
I
with
think-
you with no way to send me back home. Why? He just starts breaking down on the ground, and he's not responsive.
Well, first of all, again, I'm pretty sure you stowed away technically, even if someone stowed you away with against your will.
I actually kidnapped him. I'm taking responsibility for that.
Okay, so he stowed you away, not us collectively. It was all, which means I think Derek has to fix this problem personally, because that sounds like I don't have to deal with this shit anymore. And second of all, we're not exactly normal people, and I didn't learn about the city from a person. I learned about it from the guy, so it's at the bottom of the ocean. It's crazy because it's at the bottom of the ocean. You know who lives at the bottom of the ocean? The god of the bottom of the ocean. And he was like, hey, by the way, got some shit for you to do. And he gave me this super cool machine that floats all the way down there. Like, crazy, sure, but like, you know, we've both died. We're
guy-
both aware that
he's-
there's gonna be pretty life
Oh no,
scarring.
he's still he's still
Yeah, no, if he's all
He's
hunched
still
up on the
sobbing,
floor,
yeah.
Shraga is speaking loudly enough for him to hear, but he's like talking to Derek
no.
and Adonifar and Mazelot.
yeah, he's not doing well. What are
Well,
some
Derek,
appropriate
since
things
he's your kidnapping, deal with the stowaway, please. And if he wants me to find the fish for him later, please let me know.
Yep. Hey, Johnny.
Look at all those tears in there.
I'm just going to drag him into one of the empty rooms.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's only one left, so.
Your bag's over there. If you want some food, just let me know. I promise I'll find a way to sort this all out. And fuck. Hey, gotta go now. He goes back
Alright.
to like the room with Sean and Galfar. I don't think he's gonna be okay.
Who?
I would like you to figure this out. You wake up and you are now a mile underwater. Do you feel okay knowing you are surrounded by people who are fine with being mile underwater?
Is this
Well,
a
you are
hypothetical
not.
situation? Because this sounds like
Yes.
a really nice day.
No, for you, it's that situation. I'm talking about Derek. Because Derek does not.
Oh,
fit
Derek
you.
volunteered. I didn't kidnap Derek. Derek volunteered to be down here.
I'm talking about what if he was forced to be down here by.
Yeah,
Who in their right mind would force a fire mage to go underwater? That seems really bad.
No, I accidentally kidnapped Johnny and
Who's Johnny?
Alex.
That was Lich.
Oh, the creepy teenager. Yeah, okay. He's
was
going through a
lich.
goth phase hard right now.
He was a lich.
He absolutely
Yeah.
is.
He's an undead lord. And
Undead, sure. Lord, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
He is going to. He is
Undead
going to
lad.
school.
He's a lad. We'll call him
Yes.
Undead Lad.
He is going to school, so.
let's try not to make him mad though, because
What kind of undead who's gonna live forever is worried about, like, the cost of tuition? Like, you're gonna live forever, just go get a minimum wage job and then work at it for a couple centuries and then go pay for college. Like, it's not that hard. What, are you gonna run out of infinity to live through? Like, I mean, come on. Kids
Don't-
today, they have no work ethic. Actually, he might have been the kids from yesteryear. Who knows how old Johnny is? Boy, how sucky would that be if he's a 500-year-old teenager? All the angst, the hormones.
If
Wonder
you're
if undead
undead,
have hormones.
I was about to ask. I was like, do they actually have hormones?
Well, I've
that
had
you're missing?
conversations with other pirates about it, and I'm not really paladin, but just, you know, back in my smuggling days. And we kind of decided that when you become undead, like you die, but your body keeps going, and that includes the hormones. So you don't lose hormones and you don't gain hormones. So whenever you die, that's about where you started.
I
So,
think he's, he's still a teenager. Like I think he's still
Yeah.
actually a teenager.
Okay, so he could just live in perpetual growth pains, and that'd be sucky.
Well, trust me, if you knew the truth behind this motherfucker, you'd be real sad.
Okay, you two, you have fun living with grief. You have fun piloting ship. I am going to go pray because I'm honestly there's nothing to punch on this ship. So
That's not true. We have an undead. He can't die, so you really need to hit something.
you can
Best you-
easily kill undead. It is not
Not a lich.
hard.
He just turns into a broom, apparently.
You just shatter broom, then he's gone too.
Well, then don't break his broom, then you won't have punching back. Could disappear
I'm
permanently.
not going.
no,
I'm not going to punch him. He does not deserve it.
Yeah, I can't remember it. Anyways, have you not heard of the
Oh,
spell
Derek's a
Power Word
kidnapper. You
Kill?
can punch him.
And now I
He
have all
kind
my
of
notes.
deserves it.
You really want to know what kind of spells I know? What's kind of powerful undead spells I know that can kill you in an instant.
Do you
Really?
have fixed
Do it.
attitude? Do you have the spell fixed attitude for undead? Because Johnny needs it.
You want to kill me? Do it. I dare you.
Hey, real quick, if anybody's gonna get killed, it's the guy who can't die, okay?
I can't die as soon as the anger builds in my body, so
But
try.
you're not angry right now, so you can die, so who am I
I'm
talking
always
about?
angry, Shraga. You need to understand that.
You should wear more green and purple pants. Anyways, no fighting amongst crew members. Johnny's not the crew member. I don't care what happens to him. Now be gone. I want to steer my ship a little bit and hum a ditty.
I will not let you harm Johnny because he can and will.
Well,
kill
go
you
let
if you
him
were.
not harm Johnny somewhere else. Vaziloth, you're cool.
Hang out with Johnny. Edgy bitches.
All right. So then we will say things may or may not have happened. We can have mini-sodes if you guys want with whatever
Yeah.
the fuck's happening with Johnny. Reach out to me if you decide that's what you want to do, and we will figure
I
out
feel
a date
sorry
to
for
do it.
Johnny.
There is
Well,
a
I was
whole
gonna say
bigger
after
story
we
with
killed the
Johnny,
whale and
so-
stuff like that, and before we prepare to take on this fish, I feel like Shraga would give Johnny one more ultimatum. Like, this will be the last chance for you to get out and just float away. Because once we get through there, if you did float away, you'd just be floating to the top of the coral dome. So if you don't want to leave, you better help us, because otherwise you're never getting home.
Yeah, he did.
And as an
not-
undead, that never would literally be forever.
Yeah, he did not roll courageous on following you along with this after the whale to go in there. He would take you up. Are you doing Derek? Let's ask, but Derek, are you doing anything for him, or are you just saying just go on your way and?
I very like the time I'm going to tell Alvin the situation, and if he decides to float up, then I've got to tell Alvin approximately where he might go or where he might end up. If
Does
I
Alvin
can.
agree to this? Yeah.
Well,
And also, I can see. But my thing is that after he figures out we killed a whale and we're about to go fight this thing, would he really trust Shraga if Shraga was like, "Yeah, I'll just get like a shark to take you home"? There's not a lot of other ocean life
I mean,
around, so it's
I
gonna
can be
be
the
a
shark.
No, because
Yeah,
I need you signed up to come with me. If you desert now, that's called mutineering, and that means I'm pretty sure you have to wear pajamas for the rest of the trip. I didn't
Isn't
read that part of the
mutiny
captain
when
manual.
they take over the ship?
No, I'm
I'm
pretty
going-
sure that's not the mutiny. I'm pretty sure that's just treason
I gave
and
him,
rude.
before we send him off, though, I gave him a broomstick that's not the phylactery and say that it is.
And
I'm
Might
pretty sure
need
you
him.
would know the
We
difference,
might
would he
need
not?
him.
you do that would you do realize he can sense where his phylactery is, correct?
Oh crap, yeah.
Witches have like a constant link to their phylactery. They know where it is.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to
I'm-
pull that off.
Not only that, but can you imagine how less likely he would be to help us if we double kidnapped him?
Yeah,
That-
yeah, true. He might actually.
What if he
power
makes it
kill
all
us.
the way back to fucking Alvin's town, and then something kills him there, and he reappears at the bottom of the ocean again?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He wouldn't kill you,
He would.
and he wouldn't bother turning you into an undead, or if he did, he'd turn you into the brainless kind of undead so
Yeah.
that your soul couldn't go to heaven. Although knowing
Yeah,
you
I'm
and
going
this
to give
party,
him
you
his
might not go to heaven
phylactery.
anyways.
Before we send him on his way.
What was that?
What are you? He's giving him his phylactery. When he already took it at the very beginning.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
You handed him his broom.
You did.
I'm truly sorry. I'm just going to give him. What skill do I have on me? I'm going to give him 100 platinum.
What did you
Can a whale
tell?
carry that?
What?
Can
Huh?
a whale carry that?
That's not a lot.
Well, okay, so what I was planning on doing is just taking like one of the like all of the life vests
Mm-hmm.
on board this ship and just tying them to him, and then just telling the shark, make sure he makes it to shore somewhere after he hits the surface.
Yeah, but then what did you ask Alvin to do?
Go get him from wherever he shows up.
Yeah. If he can.
Is Alvin gonna do that? Or hire people to do that? Or send some of his squid people to do that?
Alvin will send people to get him, but he says you're gonna have a serious talk about the do's and do nots in his city from this point on.
Oh wait. Actually, shit. Because only half of you knows this. Okay, and it's not well figured out. I know there's a way that it would work, but I don't. I'm not doing the research to figure it out. You probably already know how better than I would. But that's basically what it was.
Okay, let me take a look what you said. Ooh.
So
Okay, yeah, you would
so
get
Alvin knows that. Like if this was you stepped in. You stepped in to make this happen.
So yeah, you would hear Alvin when you get the message like, we are having a stern talk when you get back. Because I personally put my name online for this kid so that he could continue going to that school.
Because I figured Alvin would do something like that. It was a real tragic story.
Maybe I should have gotten Trevor.
I will handle this.
Real quick, Meta, how deep are we right now?
Very deep. You'd have to probably give him some of those anti-pressure tablets.
Oh yeah, I was planning on giving him enough.
Yeah. Give him like, I don't know, how many did
Are we
you
like
buy?
5,000 feet deep?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that wouldn't work.
See, I mean, figure out the average rate of rising or something and make an estimate. That seems appropriate. I trust you.
Well, no, there was something, if we were shallower than that, if we were shallower than 3,000 feet, there was something I was going to try, but
Oh,
there's...
yeah.
Wait, wait,
Whatever
did-
the deepest point of the ocean in like the actual world is how deep this is.
7 miles.
Did we ever find out did we figure out how we're going to kill this thing?
Did you? Yes. Now we can get back to. We've released him. We've kind of let that do its thing. We'll get rid of Johnny.
Yeah, Meta, the deepest point in the Mariana Trench is 36,000 feet. Are you sure you mean that deep?
Ideally, yes. Whatever the deepest in the real world is. This thing is very deep. That's
Yeah.
why it's the darkest point on the whole map. I'll show you real quick. See how dark it
No,
is?
no,
compared-
I've seen the map, but I don't know if you're comprehending how far 6.82 miles straight down is.
Oh, I'm out of marking lights now. Well,
It's only like a day's travel or something like that.
That is definitely not 6.82 miles then.
Well, if we're that deep, then I don't think Johnny would survive, or his broom, or anything else, or sharks. Is the other problem. Is
I
that
could
this,
dimension door him 500 feet.
Maybe it is
that won't work.
8,000.
a mile is like 5,200 feet or something like that?
5260.
5,260? Are you sure it's not 5,280?
Yeah, I think
It's
it was,
5280.
And
Yeah.
Why the fuck do
5,280.
you guys still use that?
And we're talking about almost 7 of those.
No, I think it was around.
Maybe we should not
8,378 feet.
Let Johnny
I was gonna
out.
say, if we open a door and let Johnny out, if we let anybody out, the pressure would just murder us.
Yeah, I think
Well, that's
8,000 something. But also you have the tablets. But yeah,
The tablets prevent us from being affected by the pressure.
yeah.
Do we have enough to give Johnny one?
Yeah, probably, depending on how long we're gonna be down here.
We had enough pressure tablets for us to live in the underwater city for a month.
And you
Okay.
guys
Yeah,
now have a
but-
home base.
Spare a couple.
Yeah, that's how many we bought. It was we were going to live in there, not have a submarine. We purchased them for the purpose of not having the submarine.
What about the the broomstick?
I mean, it would be it would be on his person, so it would be affected just like anything you guys are carrying.
Okay. Yep. So he should be good then.
Just in
And,
case, Shraga gives him a wax bag that, like a wax coated bag that's, waterproof. Just in case for the broom.
Yeah, I mean that's
But
probably a
yeah,
good call.
Alvin Josh.
And as after Shraga swims out and finds a shark or two to convince and be like, hey, Momoa needs you to take this guy to the surface. Don't ask me why. It's a long story.
And as he rises, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that as Shraga comes back and he's like, as Johnny's about to get, ballooned out of here, he'd just be like, hey, I'm sorry my crew member kidnapped you and forcibly stowed you away on my boat, but, do something about that attitude problem. You'll go pretty far in college.
He kind of
I
peers
did
through
give
the
him half my
window.
platinum though, so.
Yeah. And looking at, as he looks
160.
at Derek and he rises, you just see him rising.
Fair. Lovely.
I could have gotten him 500 feet closer, but I didn't.
I could have too.
Yeah, well, we're
Okay,
about to fight
technically-
the big thing, so.
Technically, if we had been within about 2,000 feet of the surface, Shraga could have had them up there in 2 minutes. Okay.
Well,
And then he could have come back
Mhm.
in another 2 minutes.
I do hope that Johnny's going to be okay, and
Why would you hope that? He's a college student.
I'll be right back.
The whole point of college students is because, well, they're not good at anything, so let's see if we can teach them to be good at something. So if he can't, then, it's not the problem. Now, let's talk about how to kill the big fish.
I thought college was to sleep with as many people as possible.
Some people do that because they're not good at anything else, so they just get really good at sleeping with people. So my point still stands.
Oh, that's where I get all my free drugs at.
Okay,
You
so
go
I'm
to the
still
right
gonna say for
parties.
college then.
I really need to talk with Barteo. I think he put me with the wrong group of people.
Or maybe he put you with the right group of people because you're either supposed to be a good influence or you're too good and you need some rough influences on you.
Oh no, I don't know if I respond to that.
Or he just played a practical joke and put you with a bunch of horny people.
People are crazy. Every last one of you.
Can Shraga ask
Sorry about
Momoa if there's anything flammable that would burn underwater that we could gather in the local vicinity to load into the bait and
I
explode
think
in that
you
thing's
would
mouth?
just know that there isn't.
Actually,
You know enough about the ocean.
Well, I mean, whale blubber is technically flammable, and so if we hunted enough whales,
But would
We
that
could get
work
something to make
underwater?
an
It would still
explosion.
need oxygen, doesn't it?
I can't even get. He pulls out the
not
file.
if you know how to make Greek fire, I suppose.
But do you
I
have the
mean,
There's
materials for
oxygen
that?
in the water, H2O.
Yeah, but also if you stick a match underwater, it's going out.
Well, there's magical fire spells that can still detonate underwater to begin the ignition process. So
But would there be enough
actually-
oxygen for the explosion? It'd be a physics question.
I think that an oil fire.
Or a
can't
Google
be brought by
question.
Water.
I think oil works on water. I don't know if it works underwater.
yeah, it works on
Oh,
water but not underwater.
True.
Because the whole idea of oil fires is the oil it sits on top of the water and it just spreads.
If you had
the
access
flame.
to thermite for some reason, I believe thermite works underwater.
Yeah, thermite does work.
But I don't think
I
that would
do
be
have
something
an
you could
idea.
obtain locally.
I do have an idea. Once again, poison vial. I take out the worm, poison a shark, feed the shark to the giant thing, wait for the poison to take effect.
What
The
is
worm
to say?
goes into something else.
What is to say the poison does not infect everything else?
I mean, if we can just create plasma.
What's plasma?
Do you know the spell Shatter?
I have it in my spell book, but I don't have it prepared at the moment.
Well, then we're gonna take a nice nap, and when we wake up, you should take it because I've got an idea where if we get like a rock that like turns into shrapnel, and then we don't, because Shatter, you just have to be close enough. You don't have to see it, so we could just choose the explodey thing to explode inside this thing, and then boom, he just ate something, and then we explode it, and it's shrapnel all over its insides.
Okay.
Unless somebody has a better idea.
I do not have idea.
Oh crap! No, wrong thing. Correct. I actually.
Where I
put
thought you were
extra
gonna say
there.
we should just punch it.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't think we should fight it because I think it'll kill us immediately. I mean, you saw what that thing did to a whale. It's like a whirlpool.
Hey, so real quick, if we're not gonna fight it, how are we gonna get the choo-choo bus past it?
We kill it in other ways: poison, explosion, shrapnel in stomach.
Yeah, let's
Well,
just
I don't
poison
even know if
the
that would
ocean.
kill it if we did explode in its stomach, so...
I don't know
Hey,
anything
Alright,
about.
what if we got a giant fishing hook and we fused it to something that wouldn't move, and then we put some bait on for it so that the big fish gets caught on the hook, but it's not gonna go anywhere because it's caught on a hook.
I think the problem there would be making a hook big enough that it would get stuck on. I don't know if we have the resources to do that. Like, I don't have any spells that mess with metal or rocks or anything.
The spell Blight can take away the moisture from a creature. Again, that probably won't do anything, actually.
Yes, it'll take the moisture away from the creature, who will instantly get the moisture back.
True. I mean, it does get your card damage. Yeah.
What the hell?
I do
Ben,
not
are you in
know.
are you in my sheet right now, fucking with my spells?
I am not.
Oh, that's not good.
Uh-oh. It could be. I could go in there and look.
I
It's
it's fine. Something was actively happening to my spells there for a second.
Oh, that's weird.
Yes, we can try to poison if we can contain the
No, I
poison
think-
from little worm, but
Can Shraga ask the local fish if there's any obsidian outcroppings showing up on the bottom of the seafloor? Because if there's that, and then we shatter obsidian inside of it, that's a lot of
Roll
damage. Roll luck. Shraga actually has a decent luck roll.
But not a good roll of the luck.
Not a good
There
roll
is
of his
not
luck.
obsidian nearby. Your luck was rolling for the chances that there just happened to randomly be
Yeah.
a nearby, not volcano, but whatever you call it.
No, obsidian is volcanic, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
yeah,
got-
but it wouldn't be a volcano because it's underwater. I don't think it would be. There's
molten
another name
vents.
for it. Yeah, that.
Man, I have a question really quick.
Yes.
Is it less than 500 feet away?
Is what less than 500 feet away?
Giant monster thing.
I don't
We
know.
can get
Is
within.
it?
We're not
That's
currently.
your
We're
guys'
standing away
decision.
while we have a war council about it.
If I can, I will convince it go into its stomach and turn into a shark and eat it from the inside out.
That sounds reckless.
that sounds very reckless.
Does anybody have a protection from energy spell that can protect you from acid or something?
Yeah, but you would need to make sure you can protect yourself from acid because you're gonna go inside its stomach. It has acid.
Think how big this thing is. This thing is so as big as your ship is. That
Really?
whale was, I think, what, 4 times as big?
I could mislead you into
And this
thinking that
thing
you're gonna
is
use the
about
acid.
4 to 5 times as big as that whale.
Hmm.
Because remember, it's wide enough that it takes in the whale, and it's really long.
Maybe instead of polymorphing to the shark, I just do a 6 level fireball inside its stomach.
A fireball inside its stomach would probably still be resistant to it.
Because it's usually large underwater ocean creatures just have their entire body flooded with water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only we had a way to cause a bunch of electricity.
Do you?
No.
No,
Oh.
but you guys
I
should.
cast fifth level witch bolt.
You guys did at one point have access to it, but then Shanny had to move to party 3, party 1, where he can't even attend anyways. So you had it at one
Yeah.
point.
Oh, I can use lightning bolt inside of it.
I also technically have charm monster. I just don't know if that would work on this.
I don't
thing.
think it would.
Isn't that
No, I think it
CR
would.
based?
I might have to cast it a whole bunch of times.
What's the spell description?
It charms a monster.
It's like charm person, but you charmed a monster creature that is non humanoid.
Okay. That's the thing you could do.
We just need to make sure we get past it and into a place where it can't reach us before the
It'll
spell
know it'll
ends.
come after us and know we're trapped in the dome.
Yeah, so that means it becomes a problem for later instead of now.
Yes.
Mm, I can.
On the other
cast
hand,
lightning bolt.
we could cast Shatter on the exit behind us, or on the opening behind us, and break it and close it off so that it can't get back in.
And
But then we're trapped in there, so.
Yeah.
You know.
Although, no, you have teleportation circle, right?
It's not in my spell book.
Oh, never mind.
Well, then again,
fuck.
it could have been like you can. If you're a mage, you can teach other mages spells, right?
Yeah, but nobody down here knows.
No, but
That's-
who did he
that's a
train with?
Wizard only thing.
Yes, but who did Derek train with? So
Sure,
it's actually your decision if he knows teleportation circle or not, because your other character trained Derek.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's your decision if Ikarath would have taught him, and then Derek, you have to decide if you are fine paying out all the money you'd be paying in your dues, or you could just pay the fine, of course.
I remember actually Ikarath took payment in some of the spells that Derek knew from his
He did
spell
do
book.
that.
I don't think we ever talked about Ikarath sharing any back.
It's whether you. I mean, you
Um,
trained for a while, so there was.
No, we
time-
didn't. That was the whole point.
Oh yeah, you didn't. You just became it. Yeah. So yeah, you decided
We
what you
just
would
did
have done.
it.
I forgot. That was a fucked episode.
That was a stupid episode. It was one of my favorites, but
It
it
was
was a
great.
stupid episode. Just-
So that's up to you. If Ikarath would have taught. him.
I'll bet he would have. At the very least, he would have taught him teleportation circle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oops.
But
know it,
does
then.
Derek
And
pay for the
identify.
guild
He'd
dues?
probably teach you.
I do have
teleportation.
identify in my spell
Okay,
book.
so if you have identify, cool. And if you don't have shatter, he definitely would have taught you that one because that's one of his favorite ones.
I do have Shatter.
Dragonar, do you
I
know
hate
what
to
the
say it,
dues
but
are?
he specifically didn't learn Fireball, and I remember upon learning that you knew Fireball, he thought less of you. He might have taught you Lightning Bolt also.
What did you ask me, Meta?
Do you happen to remember how much the teleportation dues are?
20 gold per month.
20
Yeah.
gold per month. So you'd have to be hemorrhaging 20 gold per month, or you'd have to pay the fine and possibly deal with whatever bullshit comes from that.
What's the fine?
Nobody's
what-
ever incurred it yet.
I think it was set at
Fine.
60 gold.
Oh, yeah, I'm paying
But that would
60
be
gold.
per person. So that would be some amount more.
For somebody who just
60.
literally threw 100 platinum at a guy because he accidentally
probably
kidnapped him,
fine
I
with
don't
it,
feel
yeah.
like he's gonna miss this that much.
Yeah, there might obviously be like punishments for it. Like he might have, like next time he uses it, he might be banned from. Next time he uses it, he'd be arrested. I don't know, like something along those lines. But like the first offense isn't gonna get you like killed or in jail. You'll have to pay the fine and then possibly be warned off. That would
I
be
think I'll
common
just pay the
knowledge.
fine every time.
But also, if we just
Well, no, if you
teleport
do it
out of there, we
again
don't
and
get
you
the
pay a
ship back
fine,
either,
that's a
and
second
Traga really
offense.
wants his ship.
Yeah, you wouldn't be leaving this lovely boat behind.
Bro.
Can Shraga ask Momoa if there is any creature large enough to eat that thing in the vicinity? Because if he casts Charm Monster on it and convinces it to go find that thing and pick a fight with it, that could go really well in our favor.
Also, I want to point out, why did we jettison the Lich when you could have teleportation circled him?
Retconning, and because no, I actually do have an answer to that because he can't teleportation circle back.
I don't know what you mean.
There is no teleportation circle here on this,
Yeah.
so Derek would have had to take him away.
Oh, the person has to go. He can't send
Yes,
somebody else.
the
Okay.
caster has to
The
go.
caster is the one who takes him, and so if Derek left, that would have mean Derek's out of the campaign. And for reasons in story wise, he did sign up on Shraga's boat, and that would be mutiny if he did so. So
Yeah.
we jettisoned the Lich on purpose.
Yeah, I didn't know that's how teleportation circle worked.
Yeah, teleportation circle. The caster has to go with you. If you get the teleport spell, you can go back.
We'll continue.
Question for the DM: has Shraga been able to tell whether or not the animals around here are like, are they magically enthralled to this thing? Is that the reason why they're feeding him, or are they just scared?
You can make one of the above: religion, arcana, or animal handling. No, this is more survival instinct and pack thinking than there's no magic going on. This is just the order of things.
So fear.
It's again. Think How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, this is
first
this is
movie.
loosely modeled on Big Bertha in the Mountain and How to Train Your Dragon 1.
Yep.
So we just need to tame sharks, so we start writing sharks.
I was literally about to be like, can I just scare the sharks into attacking that thing with us?
That's not gonna work.
I mean, that thing's very scary, as you saw.
Yeah, but I am a sentient mouthpiece for the god of water, and I can give myself advantage on my plus 13 intimidation rolls. I'm not super worried about it. More like he gives a speech where he's just like, are you guys tired of being scared? Well, I'll give you something to be scared about, or we can go fuck it up. What do you say?
I think it would be possible. I think it would be a very high roll.
Yeah, I mean, let's try it. The worst they're gonna do is nibble on the outside of my metal ship if they don't like it.
They're giant. There's a lot of them. I think it would cause problems after a while.
Derek, do you know
not
enlarge
initially.
reduce?
No, but doesn't Lucy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because if you cast that on Shraga, then it's giant Shraga talking to a giant shark, and that just turns into Shraga talking to a shark.
That could be arranged. How long do you need? A minute or 2 minutes?
Okay, who the fuck is messing with my spells, guys?
Not me.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm in player mode.
Yep, not me.
I'm in player mode. so I-
Specifically, my Hellish Rebuke and Cone of Cold are respawning empty completely.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't touch your
Maybe you
character.
should
sheet 'cause I'm
let
in
me
player
look
mode.
and see if it shows it. Which one is it?
Well, like, so
Yeah, it
currently,
is empty.
I didn't do this.
I can polymorph
But there is
you
a
into
cone of
giant
cold
shark.
right there that works. There's two
Yeah,
of them
there
now.
is, but somebody keeps adding in this dead one. So it must be some sort of fucking weird glitch for roll 20.
It's gotta be. Now it's gone.
Well, yeah, because I just deleted it.
Oh.
But that's the third time this session I've done so.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because it was like that when I loaded in, and then it's done that to me. This is the third time it's done that
Roll
to me
20
since I've
is
been in.
perfectly balanced software with
Also,
no glitches.
I'm refreshing my page.
Okay. Never again. I can polymorph you into a giant shark.
Nah, he doesn't need to be a shark for this.
Yeah, if you polymorph him into a giant shark, he loses his plus 13 to intimidation.
And also, then I'm just some crazed shark being like, I've heard the voice of God, follow me to a better future, as opposed to some other species walking up and being like, what's up, little birds? You want to get bitch slapped? No? We fucking need a monster today. Let's go.
Yeah, it's when you get polymorph, you lose all your stats and bonuses. You get the creature stats, so
Oh yeah.
it's not like Druid where you get to keep your mental stats but gain the physical stats.
So yeah, I'm gonna send a couple of sharks out to gather me a crowd, and then hop outside the ship and give a
Sorry about that.
speech.
What would you roll animal handling for the first set of sharks? Because if they're not already part of that group, they don't want to go against the group. But you rolled fine, so they'll go. Well, what is shark's persuasion be? Let's find out.
Very low. Their charisma is not high.
Yeah. It's not surprising. I was a shark, so.
Also, if there's anything that I can do, like, I don't know, like a sacred flame sort of deal. Like, if there's any way I can channel Momoa's power so that the sharks are like, oh, hey, that's Dad. Or
I
however
think I was
sharks think.
muted when I said this, but I can make both you and the ship large at the same time.
We have established that ships are objects and we can enlarge them. It would be more important, I think, to enlarge a spear and then send the ship straight down into the thing. Like with the entire power of the ship behind it to stab it. The problem is that we'd have to build a giant spike on the front of the ship, which it doesn't come equipped with, and we don't have any materials to do so.
I mean, for the sake of shitting the sharks.
Well, that's fair.
Meta, you're one off from the perfect number.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Oh, thaumaturgy would let me do that. So while they're out there, I'm thaumaturging, which lets me manifest a sign of supernatural power or a minor wonder. So I'm doing some like Momoa calling all sharks in the area shit. I'm sending up the shark signal for sharks.
Bada.
Yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to other plans, other than the fact that Adonovar said, as long as we have the materials, he could work metal to do as we needed, to augment the ship if we wanted to. But that's the only thing he can do. His role comes more once we get underneath, or if we go into a direct combat. Because I am a barbarian, I don't have magic shit that helps in this fight.
If there had been shit like obsidian around here, I would have said, fuck yeah, just kind of weld that to the ship everywhere, so that way if it attacks the ship directly, it just takes slashing damage from slamming its bulk into us.
Yeah.
You were able to convince 25 of the 100 sharks.
Dope.
Nice.
Let's take those fuckers, and the one can they just convince all the other sharks to bugger off while we go kill this dude?
I don't think so, no.
It's okay. It'll be a slaughter.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking if we stay inside the ship and we mostly cast spells at that thing, or if we at least like hide in the coral.
You guys can do that. Adonovar has to go outside.
That's fair. Can you take us to the map where the shit's gonna go down? That is such a good image for the anglerfish thing. So let's park the ship a little bit away and then take our whole cadre of sharks in here.
Ideally, I wouldn't want to be anywhere close to that thing because it will instantly munch me.
Well, that's the reason why if we hide like underneath the layers of corals as spellcasters here, down here, and then like me and Adonovar can go charging directly up to it.
I legitimately, I am small, size category small, but I have to go in for melee.
Well, he also has to find you in a sea of frothing blood. Can we also have the sharks just find something? It doesn't have to be whale size, but just something for an offering that we can drop off and get chunked on the side again to lure it up.
Yeah.
So we're playing an RTS D&D session, right?
Yes.
Essentially. Also, Straga would tell everybody to hit it with internal damaging spells as much as possible. Because the sharks will take care of all the blood on the outside, and then that's going to get real bloody. Also, if you have any spells to keep, like, to add AC or to, like, help Adonovar not get eaten, please cast those on him before we start.
If you have something to prevent me from taking acid damage, cast that on me. I don't give a shit if I get eaten.
You said?
Need to be in my.
You guys
you
didn't
should-
properly prepare for an undersea adventure. You guys didn't think to buy potions of
I-
acid resistance. Who
I've
would have
got
known how
false
much
life
going
if
in
you
a
want some
belly
temp
was an
HP.
option?
That'd be a good one, yeah.
Sixth
Yeah,
level? I've only got one 6th level spell slot though.
Don't cast 6th level spell to give me false. What does false life do? Put it in the chat.
That's 5 temp HP per level. Don't cast a 6th level.
That's
spell
only
for that.
30. So no, don't do that.
Okay.
But you may want to open. What 6th level spells do you know?
Soul Cage.
Yeah, I don't think this thing has a soul, so we're probably not going to need that necessarily in this battle. In which case, Shraga would say you might want to open up with a 6th level shatter on this thing.
Actually, wait. No, I did think, but I couldn't equip Disintegration.
Well, no, because we're pre-planning this.
Yeah, we're
So
planning this.
you can prepare, like, this is coming in after a
Oh.
long rest after
Oh
we killed
yeah,
the whale.
I'm replacing.
Shraga had to take time to
Disintegration.
gather an army of sharks.
Right, bye bye.
It's been a
Soul Cage.
wild ride. Vozlot's gonna see
Okay.
Vozlot's first combat.
Now that we're here, can I have all my sharks kind of like back away and I try to scare off all the sharks that are here? Just get them to leave for a minute while we fight this thing. I'm basically going to tell them that Momoa is angry with him and he's going to take away all the blood from the rest of their lives if they don't leave.
Roll religion.
Not intimidation,
Intimidation's fine. Yeah.
because I'm going for the whole thing where I get advantage on intimidation rolls.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I will allow half of them off.
So we don't have to deal with half of the sharks. It's better than nothing than all of them.
Which would
Okay,
leave you
dope.
with 25, and then we just do quick math for your sharks. So 75.
Well, I'm also counting on once the blood starts flowing for these things
38.
to join in to the fray and just accidentally start killing each other.
38
I'm
minus
not super emotionally attached
25.
to the 25 sharks we have.
38,
Which is why I would tell
13,
Adonovar to try to stay on the ground and not actually swim, because these sharks are aerial creatures. You know, they're going to be fighting in third-dimensional combat. And so if Adonovar stays low and on the ground, he may not even get noticed by anything.
Then
But also, Shrog is like, I'm pretty sure you're a competent enough fighter that you can do kind of whatever you want.
how am I supposed to
1, 2,
get?
3, 4,
I will cast that on Donovar.
Do you want to cast that on Shraga?
I mean,
I
I,
have
can
that-
cast,
Oh,
I
okay.
can cast it on both of you, actually.
Yeah, because I was going to say I have that naturally in my rage.
There you go. You guys have a reduced number of sharks on screen.
Because see, this is my rage ability. While I'm in my rage, as long as I roll a Constitution save of DC 10, or it gets higher every single time I roll, I maintain my rage and keep going.
Well, I mean, this is a free.
Yeah, so this
ready.
subtracts one roll necessary.
Okay. Any other preparations we need to do, guys?
So both Donovar and Shraga will get it.
Yeah. So we both have the death ward, Shaga.
Oh.
Actually, one more thing. I need to get rid of 5 now.
I would also say let me go first when it comes up, because I'm going to try to paralyze it.
All right. Are we ready?
There's one more spell I want to replace.
Wait,
I
where
don't need
is
fly right now.
What?
He doesn't need fly, so he's just switching spells out right now.
Ozloth, where are you?
Wizards have a lot of that.
Hold on.
What's this?
Oh,
Circle of Death.
Creates a circle where you deal a massive amount of necrotic damage.
I think I'm gonna do Circle of Death. Again, I've only got one spell. Yeah, only got one spell.
I mean, I could attempt to polymorph it.
Polymorph would give us an opening to get past it. It would be less of a fighting it, because that just gives it a secondary health pool.
Yeah.
Polymorph would be good later on in the fight, to polymorph it if we need a moment to breathe.
You know what we could do? We could polymorph it and then have Derek teleportation circle away to the land.
How would I get back?
At that point, I would consider your contract fulfilled if you could take care of this monster like that, and then like I have no idea how you'd get back. And I'm just saying, in character, Shraga would be okay with that plan. He would not consider that mutineering, and you would still get a share of the treasure.
I mean,
Actually,
I can polymorph into Arcane Gate.
What's a powerful spell that is up to 5th level? That would probably work here.
Shatter.
I do have Shatter equipped.
Anything with electricity.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt would be a good one for this.
Punch.
Do you have banishment?
No.
Damn it.
Well,
Because that's a good one.
That would've-
We could technically just
that would
meet
work.
this motherfucker.
when we go back to if we go back to the magic school, I might ask if I can see someone's spellbook that might have banishment. I'll pay for it though.
If only you had a
Oh, that's a
cleric.
good. I'll bet somebody in Trevor's employ could probably teleport you back to us. It would just be super expensive for him to like plane shift you right directly to where we are.
Yeah.
Or we can go
Alright.
pick him up. I
I'm
mean,
good for now.
Well, if we get rid of the Guardian and we don't immediately go in there, by the time we get back, there's going to be a new Guardian. Out of character, I do know that there are teleportation circles in there that Shraga and the gang could find,
Yeah.
but we don't know that. So, I also out of character, I don't know if they're still intact. So, let's just hold off on polymorphing unless it's a last ditch effort. Okay.
Hmm.
But also, Lucy is to understand to save the one spell slot for that just in case it's going really poorly.
I'm gonna save all my level 4, 5, and 6 spell slots
Yeah, this thing
just
is
for that.
this thing is intimidating. You guys definitely find it intimidating.
Oh
This
yeah.
is a formidable monster.
Yeah.
Iceberg.
Okay.
somehow
Is it a
it's
wise monster though?
So let's have them drop the bait out here so it has to come up and get it, and then as soon as it gets up, let's get a surprise round on him.
All right, let's have that happen. Let me grab him. The thing slithers up and it grabs onto your chunky meat, and it opens its jaw and it swallows it down. And you guys,
As its jaw is open,
yep.
Shraga's gonna cast Hold Monster on it.
Listen, let me also. This shark over by your ship is not a shark.
That's initiative.
That's fair.
I'll make him very colorful for you.
Derek, are you coming in as a shark, or where are you?
I'm gonna be a spellcaster. I'm not doing a shark this time.
Well, you should drag yourself onto the map because you're not.
Because
on
there's the old Derek shark still on the map too.
Okay,
doing
it
shark.
does save against an 18.
Do that right.
Alright, on the map.
But not.
And so if it does save against it, Shrog is immediately like, light it up, boys, and he yells at his sharks to charge.
And then
So if you guys have any spells, or if Adonavar wants to sprint up there,
Got it this time.
So your initiative is actually 7.18.
oh, that's bad.
And Derek, what'd you
Also-
roll? An 8. That was
Yeah.
solid.
I'm not doing the shark. I'm doing regular old Derek.
Oh.
I'm going to enlarge reduce a couple sharks.
ooh, sexy.
Can we not reduce the size of the thing?
It gets a spell save. If you're unwilling to change your size, it's a Constitution save. Do you want to see this thing roll with its probably 30 Constitution?
I'm sure it doesn't have that much.
Let's see. So Constitution
For a thing
save,
that big,
what's it?
probably.
What's the save? There, Lucy.
I'm targeting our friendly shark, so if they're not willing, it's DC 18.
Okay.
If you target me, I deal more damage.
2 saves, and one of them is really pissed off at you in particular now.
They don't want to get bigger.
Or making it bigger.
I would Shrog
Oh, you wanna
would
make it
be like,
bigger?
hey, you two, get over here. We're gonna
Are you
make
trying
you
to make it
monsters.
smaller?
We're making sharks.
She wouldn't
bigger.
just
That's what
sneak up
that's
and
what
and,
Lucy's
and
doing.
Kakashi Sensei up their butt with
Wait,
it and
you're
be like,
making
ah,
them
now you're
bigger?
giant.
Not smaller? I thought you were making them smaller.
No,
No,
making
I'm
our
targeting
Bigger,
sharks.
more damage.
Targeting friendly sharks
Oh.
to make them bigger.
Yeah. I'll allow an extra couple off because I'm just doing those sharks as math.
Don't feel like you have to do all of the shark movements on the map or count out 25 of our sharks and 50 of their
No,
sharks.
no, I
Like,
just
you're good.
subtracted your sharks from the total sharks, and then since he did that on those sharks, I just subtracted a few additionals that they
Yeah.
would have been able to kill. I've
So
been doing
this is-
generalized math.
Yeah,
Those sharks are gonna be harder, better, faster, and stronger.
yeah. This is more of these are the sharks we have to fight that are on the map.
Yeah,
All
and
the
doing
sharks-
things to your sharks has helped reduce those sharks' number on the map.
Well, but did they at least get a good round to bloody this thing up on as we start combat here? Because the other sharks wouldn't know to attack my sharks until they start attacking him.
Yeah, I'll give him an amount of damage that I feel appropriate for the amount of
Mostly, I
time that
want
they have.
Adonavar and company to have advantage on the attacks as they're surrounded by sharks.
Yeah, this bonus round will have advantage on attacks with the sharks.
I'm not gonna take the first round to attack. I need to get my stuff active. I have 2 things I have to activate on my first turn.
Can you activate those before the fish gets up here?
They last for only 1 minute each. It's my rage and my radiant soul.
You could
All right,
do it
yeah.
and launch into combat right as you finish.
Well, you could also be activating them as you run up there, so that's fine.
Oh well, if you let me launch it into combat with them active, then it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
would
more
start
of-
your bonus round, and so your bonus round would count as like the 6 seconds, and then the next round would count as the 6 seconds.
Okay, so I will activate I'll have my rage and my effects active because those things are very important.
Yeah, I'd believe you if you're preparing and you're getting in cover and all this shit, you'd have time to do that.
So range.
Actually, I do have a spell that will never miss.
Is Vazaloth a spellcaster?
I punch.
Don't forget to use
Okay.
up some of your tablets
Oh, yeah, I'm using
for
I'm
pressure
using all my
and water
tablets.
breathing.
Okay. Are we gonna go into the initial round right now? Are we moving up to try to
Yes.
attack it, or okay.
Yes, so we'll just ignore the enemy in this, and that'll be your actions. Donovar gets first, the Donavaring.
All right. So luckily, Rage lets. How close do I need to get to attack this thing?
Let me move this and then draw you a red circle real quick.
Thank you kindly. Because I get half my movement when I rage, so. Rage Shadow Legends.
Sponsorship. Sponsorship from Rage
You should
Shadow
try to
Legends,
get
that's how bad
sponsored
I
by
am.
them.
There,
should
that's
try.
the hit circle.
Okay.
I should try and get sponsored by them. They're not going to sponsor me.
I mean, they sponsor anyone.
Who sponsors who?
Rage Shadow Legends.
I mean, if you reach out, they'll probably give it to you.
Right?
Yes, they sponsor everyone.
I don't like that game.
I just gotta make sure I
Most
don't.
people don't.
Okay, good. I was just making sure I don't have. I was testing something, so I have to make sure that was turned off. All right, so now I will attempt to swing at it with my glaive.
Yeah, you hit.
Okay, let me see if I can turn that off. Anyway, yes, I can. So, 19 slashing.
All right. 19 damage, you hit it, and you take just a small cut into its hide. It doesn't even seem to react too much aside from to turn its head and hiss at you.
Fun.
That will miss.
Okay.
Well, not miss, but it'll hit and deflect off of its shiny scales.
Got it.
Never mind, they only do YouTube.
Joshua Tree. If that is your turn, it is Shraga. The giant Shraga. I believe.
Shrugga's gonna try hold monster again.
And
Now Shraga would be
18
back to normal size.
Con save. So it's one plus for every 2 levels above 10, right?
Huh?
For every even number above 10, it's +1.
Yeah. Okay. And above 10.
And this is a wisdom save, not a con save.
Oh, a wisdom save. Okay.
Yeah, the last one was a wisdom save as well. So
Also, Shraга's not giant anymore.
Yeah, he didn't get in.
Okay.
Yeah, he's no longer enlarged.
Uh-oh.
Wisdom 18. It does not make it.
cool. So he is now paralyzed, which means anything we do is an automatic crit on him.
Excellent.
Lucy.
And actually, with that, Shraga is going to use his movement speed to start getting up here as well.
All right.
And he'll yell out to everybody to hit it with everything you got.
What is it like a constitution to get out paralyzed?
It's wisdom saves for
It's a
hold.
wisdom save that he makes at the end of each of his turns.
Oh, nice. Hopefully, its wisdom isn't very good.
And it's the end of his turn, so even if he succeeds on this next one, we will get a round of advantage criticals on this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Criticals are really good for barbarians.
Oh, I know. And
Lucy?
rogue.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So the enlarge reduced just helped with the amount of sharks
Yes.
that it reduced. Okay, so I would drop concentration at this point, and I'm going to cast.
If you have any spells that require a strength or dexterity saving throw, he automatically fails them.
He's
By the
casting
way.
haste right now.
On a Donovar.
Ooh, sexy.
Even angrier.
So that's my action, and then I'm going to. Do I have? And actually, I will make that an extended spell.
Super angry.
So you're angry, super angry for 2 minutes.
Mhm.
But Derek,
Man.
now would be a good time to use something like lightning bolt,
Yeah,
because
we'll
he's
wait
automatically
after.
fails. He automatically fails dex save. So if you have something more powerful than that that does more damage, like feel free.
And then that'll be my turn.
Derek.
Oh, yeah, I have something more powerful. This requires dexterity saving throw. I thought it would be constitution, but nope.
Nope, disintegrate dexterity, so that's an auto hit.
Is it?
10d6 plus 40 damage.
Dexterity
Okay,
saving throw. Let me look.
It auto fails its dex
Oh,
saves
there
while
we go.
paralyzed.
Okay, then let's see. 10d. Yeah, roll your damage.
96 plus what?
40.
No, you might want to mark haste if you haven't.
There's
78
markings.
damage.
It's a skinny little dude, though.
As you
That's my boy.
disintegrate a hole through its hide all the way through. However, while it is bleeding profusely into the water, it's still thrashing about just fine.
I think that was a little bit better choice than lightning bolt.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right, yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
All right.
Oh, also,
Or-
can we put those evil dice in dice jail, please? Before this turns come up.
That 20,
Specifically, the
that
evil
20.
ones that always fuck us up, and then you use them, and you're like, they just fucked you up. You guys should put them in dice jail. Those
The
ones
skull
specifically.
dice, I think.
I think
Either
if
that
they're
or the
not skull
copper.
dice, they've
The
probably
copper
started
also
growing
fuck you
skulls
over.
because of how many times they've tried to kill us.
The copper
Yeah, the
fucks
skull.
you over as well. You would need two to get rid of those 220s.
Sure.
Somebody else fight. It's only 250. Just fucking hit him with a jail
got
those
it.
dice too. Thank
I
you.
got it.
I've got a whole
Dice
bag
gel,
of
the
dice.
co-
All right,
To be
so
fair,
I
dice
jailed the
honestly be
copper
extreme.
and I jailed the skull dice.
What happens if we jail all your d20s?
They would not all fit, so they'd start going out in reverse order. So they just basically be cycling through dice at that point.
If we jail all of his dice, I think at that point he just starts
I
rolling
don't
in
know if
roll
you
20.
can. Like, look at this bag of dice. There's like 40 sets of dice in here. I don't think you can.
And
fit
I have
40
9,000 points, so that's 9
Yeah, but
times
this is how
4.
big the jail is. And it just starts
Okay, so we
cycling through
just
them.
I'll mail you a bigger jail. You know what? No, we'll send you to the jailhouse.
Why are we spending all of our points to jail all the dice?
No.
We've also, I mean, the dice that I eventually want to buy once I can is the pixel dice. That not only can I roll them, that when I physically roll them, they will report what they rolled to roll 20.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
I really want those. Alright, I've got my dice now since 2 of my d20s of like 4 that I have up are disqualified, so grab some extra ones. And Fozloth, your first turn in combat ever.
Oh, it's gonna be like Dragon Ball Z charging up.
Dame.
And Shraga is definitely watching out of the corner of his eye because he's like, let's see if Little Rat Man is good at his job. He just looks at Adonavar and is like, you heard that too, right? Like, I'm not fucking crazy.
Let's see it.
I'm too
That's a
angry.
good one.
I don't know.
Adonavar just starts jumping up and down and gesturing wildly, like, stop interrupting me, but it comes out like a chipmunk because he's being fast-forwarded.
Need to get my stand powers first.
But well, it'd be the same thing as what with me, but you activate them as combat begins, so you already have them up.
You're a little quiet, Vosloth. Is Discord perhaps on the wrong mic?
Meta, you're a little quiet. I'm not being sarcastic, actually.
Okay, is that better?
That is better.
Yep. Vosloth, it sounds like you
Closer
might
now.
be on like the laptop mic instead of like a headset mic or something. I don't know. A little quieter than normal. Now I can't hear anything.
Pretty meek.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Trinket the Bear, and Matt, thanks for 55 months of subscriptions.
That's a lot.
What's the next 0 milestone? I don't remember how to count. 12, 24.
48 would be, plus another 12 would be 50. Plus
60.
62. 62?
five more
Oh,
months
60. You're right, 60.
for 5 years.
Buzzloth? Oh, now we can't hear you at all.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know what just happened.
Buzzloth is having mic issues.
Everything broke.
Everything's
Technical
broken.
difficulties. We will be
I
back
think
in
she's
10
restarting
years.
Discord. Also broken.
Time for the ad break
Oh,
that no one asked for.
Yep.
can't hear.
Raid
guys
Shadow Legends.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You only need 1,000 subscribers to get a Raid Shadow Legends subscription.
I ain't
Okay,
know what those-
Let's all go out and make a bunch of fake accounts for the rest of the stream time.
It only does YouTube.
We just subscribed to Meta's YouTube.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So I already have my rage and my whatever up.
Yes, you
No.
have
Yes.
your. Yes, that was specifically was the same thing was given to me, so I would assume that was given to you, especially since your astral
No,
self.
we
stuff,
don't know anything about anything you're doing.
I.
Or will.
I'm like trying to figure it.
There's,
But,
too,
yeah, you-
there's too many people with too many secrets. I've given away too many of them.
Yeah, you have your astral self stuff up already, especially since that stuff lasts 10 minutes versus 1 minute for rage.
Did I
Yeah.
use this D20?
Huh?
I'll do that.
Ooh,
If you look at the
It's like-
camera, should I use this
they're like
D20?
koi. I like
No,
that. It
no,
looks
those
like
are blood stains.
Oh,
Then,
It looks like a blur.
Yeah.
and then I
because
want to
I'm on a-
have
There's another one.
I'll get the claws with my rage, I guess.
What?
When I rage, I get to like partially turn into a beast.
Okay.
So I want to have like claws.
Okay.
I just get that.
Yeah. You grow claws out of your. What are you again?
Chinchilla.
A chinchilla. The chinchilla sprouts claws like Wolverine.
And then I've got like ghost hands over that.
With the ghostly lightsaber looking claws coming out of your hands.
Okay, what do I even roll for that?
okay. So you're now active using astral self attacks. So
Mhm.
this is the question that you run into once you do this. Are you gonna roll for wisdom or are you gonna roll strength?
I believe my wisdom is stronger.
So the one downside of rolling with wisdom is you cannot add your rage damage to your attacks
Oh.
because
Can I do dex?
it's strength. Rage specifically says you need to attack with using your strength. Your rage specifically says you need to attack using strength attacks to add your rage damage to that. See, when you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain bonus damage to that roll. You still have all your resistances for being in rage, but you have to. It works weird.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get the higher accuracy. You can go for higher damage. It's 2 damage plus 2 damage or plus higher accuracy. Your choice. That's how that would work.
I guess I'll do strength then.
You sound as
Yeah,
confused as I am.
I am very confused.
Don't worry, you're not alone. I don't know a lot of the rules either. Like, I learned more about teleportation circle earlier today.
How about I just do one of those?
You have advantage.
Yeah. Wait, no, isn't it an auto crit because it's held?
It has to hit still. If it
Oh.
hits, it crits.
Yeah, you hit. You hit the crit
Mm.
with your advantage. Now, if you click on Astral Strikes, you get to do damage. 6 damage. So you punch it, and It hits and a scale dents a little bit, and then it just kind of.
I think you roll the damage twice because it's a critical hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, roll it again. Yeah, you managed to
Oh.
knock off one of the scales.
Oh, it's not adding the +4 on that, I think.
No, it is.
It's
Adding
it's
something.
two.
You just rolled
Yeah, you
two.
just rolled
Yeah,
really
you rolled
shitty.
2.
You rolled 2 2s.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That
you
makes
can
more
also
sense.
turn on. I don't think I saw them. Turn on your dicey things. Go to the settings in the top right, and then go to where's
Dice options.
Dice options. Enable 3D dice. Automatically roll 3D dice.
So settings. There's
The
if you
cogwheel.
the cogwheel on the top on the where the chat is.
Yeah.
Then there's a drop down that says dice options.
Just the 5th one down.
If you click on that, it will reveal all the dice options, enable the 3D dice, and automatically roll 3D dice.
Yep.
Okay. So also on top of the fact, because I know how your barbarian works, I know how most barbarian works, you get to do an additional attack as part of your attack action that uses your claws.
Mm-hmm.
Your claws will deal slashing damage instead of force, but it's the same exact attack roll as your astrals. So
I do it again.
yeah, so you have 2 more attacks left.
Well, you
No,
have
you
to
have
roll
to-
the hit.
You have to roll 2 more attacks.
Oh.
So you have advantage.
So roll again. And the claws bounce off of its scales. Shing.
Yeah, and you also have 1 more attack because you only rolled once for
Yep.
your astral strikes. So
I'm a
roll
That
again.
is an advantage.
You get a. Don't think an 18 hits.
No,
don't
it
know,
does
Matt,
not
does
hit.
it?
They just all shrink off of its strong armor. Also, I set it up to prompt you whether you want to roll advantage or not every time.
Oh.
So it'll be easier.
Yes, but I'm dumb.
Well, no, it'll just pop it up in the window. It'll actually say, do you want to roll this at advantage or not? Whenever you do
Okay.
it automatically.
Oh, I didn't put my rage damage on.
That's
I
fine, you
don't know
didn't hit.
It works.
You missed it. Well, not missed it, but the claws just didn't pierce its hide.
Yeah.
And then you for your bonus action, are you going to go for your flurry of blows or just a single strike? Because as a monk, you can take a single strike if you've taken the attack action, or you can do flurry of blows if you spend a key point.
I would definitely recommend spending that key point to do Flurry of Blows so you can attack twice more because, again, if they hit, these are criticals. They
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So now when you click Astral Strike again, it'll ask you if you want to roll it at advantage, and you can say yes. And you hit.
There we go.
Okay. And then I do
Roll
that.
damage and roll it again. The damage again. Just click the Astral Strikes again.
There we go. There's some real damage.
And then roll your next attack at advantage. Right?
Yep.
Yep.
There's
Into
that.
yeah, that hits. So
That's
roll,
a critical on a critical, man.
So that's roll your damage 4 times. Yeah.
So roll the crit twice.
Yeah, roll a crit twice.
Damn. So Vazilov goes off.
That's a lot of damage I gotta count.
Mhm.
Oh, you didn't have to do it that many times because it was off.
No,
quick
just
step.
twice because it's already critting for you.
Oh, okay. I'm I'm stupid.
Not
I don't
really.
know.
Oh, that's not a normal rule for D&D. I make shit up.
Yeah.
Just wait until you have to do 15 dexterity saving throws.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in this campaign. If you use Dex.
Dex is my highest. So
Good,
I'm
you're well
fine.
prepared for this campaign in particular. So that's 20 for the top bit, and then that's another 13, and then that's another 13. So 26 and 20, 46 damage. You managed to beat the shit out of its one of it. You like grab on and claw at and smash one of the fins. One of the fins gets sheared clean off as you rip it off of its fucking body. I assume you hold it up. You decide what you do with it. You now have this thing in your hands. You can do whatever you want with it. You can roar triumphantly. I don't know.
As triumphantly as a small rodent can.
Is he already almost dead?
No, it's not even close. It's bleeding a fair bit, but it's not that badly hurt.
Look at how big it is, man. I don't think.
You remember, you guys are inside of a ship, and the whale that you guys fought was twice the size of your ship, and this thing is 4 times the size of the whale. So that means that this thing is like 8 times the size of your ship.
Oh yeah.
And you guys have multiple bedrooms inside of your ship.
And as a last resort, can cast teleportation circle and get us out of here if we absolutely have to.
Teleportation circle.
It takes a minute to cast.
They would need to stall for quite a while.
So
Oh, yeah.
probably not.
Yeah, we had a
Just go in to kill this thing.
yeah,
You could
we
always-
had a
you
whole
have to
thing in my
polymorph
campaign
backup.
where it took they had to fight for 5 rounds because someone hasted the person casting teleportation circles. So they had to protect them
You
for
fight
5
rounds
rounds.
against the dude who we definitely couldn't kill without the person casting haste or
Yeah.
casting the teleportation sigil. It was very intense.
So is it my turn now?
It is Adanavar's turn, and you guys
Okay.
are in normal combat now. You guys only have advantage under normal circumstances now.
Yeah, we have advantage because it's paralyzed.
Yeah, you don't have advantage because of the sharks anymore.
In case it does undo its paralyze for my bonus action of this turn, I will activate my Zealous Presence. So all of you are now gain advantage not only on attack rolls, but you also gain advantage on your saving throws until until the start of my next turn. So all of you get that. You do not need to, we don't have to roll crit twice for me because I have basically set my crits to be a 1 on mine, so it always rolls a crit damage. So specifically because I have a lot of added damage to my character. So I will now go for my first glaive attack. 25 to hit. All right. And so that is going to do 31 radiant damage and 36 slashing.
Ow.
You cut off its anglerfish horn,
Oh,
and it roars.
Okay, and then I'm going to go for my second attack, which loses the divine stuff for this attack. That's a 28
Yep,
to
you
hit. And so that is going to be
Excuse me.
24 slashing,
Hey,
and
wait,
then
don't
for my
barbarians get an extra dice when they fucking
at 9th
damage,
level, but
Or are you multi-class?
that's what mine's already rolls the bonus dice rolls. I roll 2.
Oh, okay, so
each
that's
time.
why you're rolling so goddamn high.
Yeah, I roll a bunch of extra dice with all of my attacks.
Okay,
He
cool,
knows
cool,
how
cool.
to manipulate Roll20 like a pro.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also have the thing turned on so that when I roll less than a 2, because I have the great weapon fighting, so I get to re-roll 2s and 1s on my attacks.
He likes all the click clacks to roll at once.
Yeah,
Don't you
and
have
then
like 18 toggles on Alvin for all the different buffs that were potentially that he could have? One of your characters
yes,
did.
yes, Alvin still has a lot of them. Okay, and then I have a hasted action. I need to double check something for. Yes, I do get to trigger Radiant Soul and Divine Fury again, so I'm going to try to do that. Nope, don't hit it this time.
No, you have absolutely do not. It's just your last hit, like chunk, big thing off, slice off the head, and then just kind of knocks off to the side and digs into the coral.
All right, and that will be my turn.
At the beginning of this thing's turn that it gets to do its bullshit.
End.
So as it's paralyzed, it can't do anything this turn except try to end the paralysis. It is a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw.
All right, and it dead nuts that on. But that is its turn, as far as I understand.
Yep.
Okay, so it's no longer paralyzed though.
It is not. It dead nutted at 18 on the roll.
In which case, bonus action, I am casting this on me for my final spell slot. And then I'm going to attack him with my lance.
I don't know what that does, but all right.
Ha! It crits anyway.
Yep, you definitely do. And
That is
not a lot.
that is the saddest possible damage.
Yeah. You get really hyped up to beat the shit out of this thing with what are you fighting with?
It's a lance. Not a lance as it is in D&D, but it's like a great spear.
Okay, and you just
It's
go
a
and you
two-handed
stab,
spear without reach.
and you stab at it, and you get so excited, and you're like, I'm going for the heart, boy, I'm sure. And you end up just stabbing it in like its side. It takes some damage.
Follow-up attack.
You hit much more measured approach now
Jesus.
for 19 damage.
I need that feat where I get to re-roll ones, because that could have been so much better.
Yeah.
But that is going to do it for my turn.
Lucy.
Okay. I haven't fought this far yet. Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm going to Ray of Frost.
I'm real excited to watch my Beyblade guy. The Ray of Frost splashes off of him. Not like it's immune or anything.
20 is its AC is higher than 20.
Fun.
Also,
Okay.
Ray of Frost is really not good since it's going to be resistant.
I don't have many options here. It's either that or Fireball.
Or you can use higher level spells.
I don't have any more damaging spells.
He's a
that's fair.
sorcerer. He only has a certain amount of spells he can learn.
Yeah.
And I
his
have
sorcerer-
mostly support spells, and I'm currently already concentrating on haste.
That's true.
At least you're not a warlock who can only do 2 spells per combat.
All right.
I mean, unless you want me to try to make it do a dexterity saving throw.
It is very dexterous, according to my base.
I thought that was paralyzed killer. I guess it broke out of it.
No, it broke out of it. It went, "Rawr! I'm no longer paralyzed, but I can't do anything this turn, so beat the shit out of me again.
God damn it, it's still doing it.
Well, that is weird.
Yeah, roll 20's just broken. Accept it.
Okay, so is
It's
that
fair.
all that Lucy can do?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Now I gotta go find my fucking reference material for these things again. Okay. So first of its attacks. What's your armor class there, Shraga?
21.
And this is yeah, that hits.
Is the shark attacking him?
Why would a shark attack me? I'm on the ground, nowhere near the spouting blood.
Mhm.
None of us have taken damage, and you said we've opened up multiple bleeding, gaping wounds on this thing. Why would a shark attack us if it wasn't magically being compelled to do so?
Because it falls in the hierarchy. This is their hive. You convinced a bunch to run off. These are the ones that are still loyal to the big bad monster. So you're attacking their home as far as they're concerned.
I believe sharks have a thing where. Right, shark.
The shark I have doesn't have
No, I
anything
guess not.
about that as far as I can
No,
see.
they usually have, but like in general, sharks have a sort of a blood frenzy, and I'm not bleeding.
Yeah, they're
Blood
only
frenzy.
attacking you
This is
because
probably the first time this thing's ever been bleeding.
Yeah, blood frenzy is the thing where it attacks at
Yeah.
advantage if you're missing any HP.
Right, and I think it's just my players who are sharks that I've given stuff where they have to make DC saves to not attack things that are on their own side.
yeah, these are more. This is more of an organized. They're part of a hive-like structure down here.
Yeah,
This isn't sharks in the wild that do their own thing. These are sharks that are compelled by show of force to fall into line in this hive-like structure. If these were just a group of like 50 sharks out in the ocean, they'd just go and attack whatever they wanted to eat.
Well, the other question is, could they see us inside of all the blood?
They have blind sight.
Yeah, they do.
They have 60 feet of blind sight, but we're on the bottom of this thing, and this thing is 4 times larger than our ship.
That's true.
I put planning into this because I know how sharks are like, and even with the whole like the alpha thing and stuff like that.
This one I think is close enough to see you.
And it's all cool. I'm just throwing this stuff out there because
Yeah, that one's close enough to see you. This one's far enough out to see Derek. Probably this one too. So
what's the damage from the one that attacked me?
that I don't know yet. I have not rolled that damage. I have to find the appropriate dices.
They have a 5-foot attack reach, do they not? Correct?
They have
Yeah, they're biting.
5
Nom,
foot,
nom, nom.
yes.
Yeah, that means he's within range. If he's attacking Shraga and I'm next to Shraga, or Shraga, are you next to me or away from me?
No, I'm standing next to you. I'm on the ground also.
The reason why I have to ask is because I have a 10-foot reach and I have Sentinel, so I attack anyone who attacks
Yeah,
you.
you certainly can do that.
So, so I'm gonna try to swing my glaive at it as it attacks him.
5,
27 to hit the shark.
12. You hit?
That shark takes 24 radiant, 16 slashing,
What's the total?
40 damage.
Alright, it takes 40 damage. You cut a large... What did you hit with the glaive? Yeah, you cut a large slash across its side, and blood pours out into the water as it bites into Shraga and shakes him a bit, and he takes 18 damage. And then Shark Swim. Shark Swim. Shark Swim in random direction. I'm gonna roll a dice for that. It goes this way. This way. This way. That's not a number I'm gonna work with. Wait, no, I did. No, that's 10, so that way. That stays where it's at. There's too many damn sharks. And a little bit more in the corner. So then the 2 attack Derek at advantage for each. What's your armor class? Derek?
14, but I can cast Shield as a reaction for 5 to make it 19.
Do you choose to?
Yeah, I've got 4 first level spell slots.
Okay, so the first one misses you then, and what's the total hit then?
19.
19 you said?
Yes.
It's my
19?
AC.
The
That's-
second
that
one,
hit-
however,
that's his AC until the beginning of
Yep.
his turn. So all these attacks are going to be against.
so
19.
the second hit does hit you as it
Ah,
chomps onto your arm for. Again, I have to find the dice. There we go.
okay.
23 damage,
Oh, okay. I'm not tagged.
raking large gashes upon your arm.
So
Derek's
I'm
turn.
now at 52. Turn.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Because you are surrounded by sharks.
Fuck. Oh, this is not good. This is. I am. I'm going to try to dimension door into the coral reefs to try to hide from them.
Like behind this thing.
Where specifically? Because there's lots of space, and where you end up matters.
Probably over here.
Oh, okay. So not down the hole.
And knock down the hole.
Okay,
Over
there
here,
are two
actually.
sharks over there.
Yeah, you
Oh,
may want to
oh, crap.
teleport up here where there are no sharks.
Yeah.
Where?
Up in the top left.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll do that instead.
Would that provoke
got a
attacks
dimension
of
door up there.
opportunity?
No,
Or
it's
Only
a
if they have
teleportation.
mage. It's a
Yeah,
teleportation. It's only Mage Slayer, and I highly doubt sharks have Mage Slayer.
No, these
On
are
the
not
other
the
hand,
world's
how
most
dope would it be to have
sophisticated.
mage slaying sharks?
Not as dope as sharks with freaking laser
Oh.
beams on their heads.
I'm so,
That's fair.
so glad I have this spell.
I'm
blink.
probably gonna have to move as well.
And I'm gonna pass my turn.
Okay. Baziloth.
That guy die.
Time for me.
You still have advantage on all your attacks because I've given everyone advantage on attacks, rolls, and saving throws.
Oh, I should probably switch this, shouldn't I?
From what we know, 19 does not hit.
No, 19 does not hit.
So you still have 2 more Astral Strike attacks, and then you also have your bonus action stuff.
Advantage.
You hit?
Nice. Okay.
12
12.
damage.
Right, and then
As
I
you
get
continue-
another one.
Yeah, as you continue to rip scales off of its body,
It's like digging.
and you miss. Well, it hangs off.
24.
Really.
Yep.
I'm gonna use focused aim on that then.
Yes, you hit.
So with 1 key point, or
With
Does it
1
hit?
key point, yes.
okay.
24. I had a feeling that was the case.
7 damage as you rip off another scale, leaving a large bald spot of scales in its side.
Okay, and then you have your bonus action. You can flurry of blows or take 1 hit as a bonus action. Or you can do something else, your choice.
Um. Do. Yeah, I'll just flurry of blows again.
Okay, now the key point, 2 strikes.
Strikes this time.
You hit? for 9 damage. Continuing to mutilate the same spot over and over again with your claws. That is not hit, however.
That would probably take me to.
Do you have any other things that you do?
Probably, but I don't want to read through everything.
All right. Donovar, the hasted, backed out to the 9.
Time to activate yet another effect on myself because I can't. We lost our advantage, but I want to keep that going. I'm going to reckless and attack. So I want to keep that advantage rolling.
You hit?
28. Okay. That's going to be 24 radiant damage and 15 slashing. So for 39 damage my first attack. My second attack, I do not get my divine strikes anymore.
And you
I cannot amplify
swipe
that.
off.
Yep. But I get one more attack with my hasted action. And I miss. And then let me double check something. Yeah, that is all I can do for now.
All right. What would a swimming check be?
What do you
mean?
Like to swim away.
We have
from,
swimming speed, so it would just be normal checks.
like
for
if
movement.
like it would be a check for like a whirlpool.
Yeah, that'd just be strength.
Strength.
Okay. Shraga, Donovar, and Vazloth all need to make strength checks. Vazloth, are you guys both smalls?
Yes.
Yeah.
The smalls must make it at disadvantage.
Well, we make all strength checks at advantage because we're in rage.
So you'll make them at normal, and Shraga will make it at normal. And then I will tell you. Oh no,
I'm just gonna say this
Shraga.
now. I fail.
No, Lucy, you don't have to.
Are we doing strength saves or strength?
Wait, no,
checks?
Lucy, you do, but you failed, but you didn't
Against
fail
an,
to die. You
some
just
sort of
failed to get
whirlpool
drawn
effect, it
closer,
sounds.
which is actually
Okay.
advantageous for you at this point.
Oh, poor Shraga.
You say that until I get one-shotted by the might as well be Trask's AC'd freaking monster.
I think Shraga got guys.
There's things about this monster that matter that you guys aren't aware of yet, so don't worry too much. Although, however, I do need to get rid of some of that blood there. What layer is some of this blood? Is there blood on the GM layer? How's there blood on the
Probably
GM
the
layer?
map layer.
No, there was some on the GM layer for some obscure reason.
I think you put it on the GM layer to save how much blood you wanted to keep copying onto the map.
Maybe. So, well, they cleared out the so the thing opens up and goes.
Oh, it does the
And-
fucking.
And
attack.
Lucy gets pulled towards and stops short as it gets Shraga into its mouth and swallows you up in its mouth, chomps down.
Fuck, I rolled a 20 and a 16.
Finn, however, is so good at swimming that Finn is allowed to take a free disengage if Vazloth wants to move to wherever you want to. This is entirely optional, but you rolled a nat 20, so you get rewarded somehow. You get a free disengage and a full amount of movement. You were so scared of getting eaten by this thing, you just paddled like a motherfucker.
I'm good at it. Got those big claws, help me get through the water. I don't know, I'll move more behind it, I guess.
All right. And that is all that this thing can do in one turn. Well, I guess Straga would take some acid, but it wouldn't be much for the first turn, so. Unless you don't have, nobody gave you acid resistance, right? There was a lot of talk about it.
We don't have
No.
acid resistance.
We kept saying I wish we did, so that specifically in situations like this, we were okay.
Only 13 damage.
If we had a black dragon board.
Now, question: while I'm in here, is there like room to stand up and stuff like that? Like, how much, or is it
It's-
like, am I
there
sealed
is-
tight?
You are inside. You can't stand up because it's liquid. So it's like imagine like if you fell into like a water tower, like in real life.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of
So
the situation here. There's no
there is
air.
space here. I just don't have good movement in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's completely pitch black. It's very turgid, so it's constantly moving around as this thing moves and sways.
Yep.
So it's not great, but like,
But like, I can
there's
move my
movement.
arms.
Yeah. No, you're not squished in. You're in a water tower, basically, a full water tower that's constantly being thrown around. Like a water tower that support's broken. Now you're rolling down the hill, about to kill Grandma's cookie shop.
Can I at the very least tell which direction I came in from?
Roll perception at disadvantage.
This ought to be a good roll.
No. You tumbled and twirled way too much to figure it out. You are
Okay,
lost.
Yeah. If that's the case, I'm gonna witch bolt him while I'm in here.
That's not electric, right?
Oh, yes, it is. The other option is shatter.
Because electricity, the basic rule for that is the distance you are from it, you make the save. And for every foot that it travels, it's one less damage. Like, in terms of,
What do
like, peripheral effects.
Even if I'm hitting flesh, I'm not shooting it into the water. I'm shooting it into this thing.
You're in there is no not water. Or is it like a thing that just does it to the thing? To the walls?
No, it lances. I mean, it lances out from me, but then it settles on the creature. Not.
When
its
does the
water
electricity
necessarily.
start? While
On
it's flying through
firing?
the air? Or when it hits?
Witch bolt?
Yeah.
Witch bolt is a beam from me. That's actually, it stays connected. So I am the source of this.
Witch bolt?
Witch bolt means it springs from my hand and it stays sprung there as long as I hold.
Yeah, it would probably
concentration on
feed
the
back
thing.
onto itself, so you wouldn't be hurt.
That
but
would just
others
increase.
Would be hurt by it.
I'm the source of its power. So if it's feeding back into me, it's just shooting through
Well,
me again.
I mean, it would have been diluting.
Because
so, yeah.
it's a continuous thing from me.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna do its damage normal. You won't be affected if you were on the outside and other people were close enough. They would potentially.
That
be.
is incorrect. Hold on. That is not the correct damage or striking.
That's also not a.
No, because there was no option for a higher level cast. Hold on.
Yeah.
Also for this, I'm assuming I have advantage since I can't miss in here,
Yeah, that's fine.
or do I even have to roll?
I'll still say you have to roll. It's pretty big in there, so you could
All right,
potentially
I set
be.
it up correctly.
I mean, this thing's more than 30 feet across, so you could potentially be too far away and not know it.
The range on here is 30 feet.
Yeah, this
So,
thing's more than 30
If I'm
feet
inside
across.
it hits this thing.
Let's see. Yeah, you rolled twice.
No, that's still not correct. No, that's not set up correctly at all. That doesn't. Yeah, with my spell casting ability, that's a 25. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, you hit then.
Okay. And that is going to be at level 5 because I'm a warlock and I can't downcast at all. And then as a bonus action, after I cast that, because I dropped my concentration on the other spell I was using because I used this here. Where is it? I'm gonna summon a tentacle in there with me as well. Which I don't actually know if he'll do anything in here, but he's in there with me. He doesn't do anything on the turn that he gets summoned, though. I don't believe.
Sticking tentacles down things' throats. This is where we're
No,
going.
no, I'm
today.
already down its throat. I'm sticking a tentacle out of it, like.
So tentacles emerging from throats.
Oh no, I can make a spell attack with it. Okay, cool. So he is going to punch it somewhere. Where is my? It only does cold damage though, so that's shitty.
Mm.
Yeah. It barely damages it. Like you hear a little tinkle of
But
maybe
Shraga's
something
not
freezing.
alone now. He has a friend.
He does.
Mm.
What would happen to Shraga if I polymorphed it right now? Skip my turn, why don't you?
Mm.
I always do that. Yep, I'm skipping your turn. Your turn.
I wouldn't recommend polymorphing it right now while Shraga in there. You don't want to kill it.
Okay, hold on. I need to ask because this has definitely been asked by someone on a different creature.
A nice DM would say I just pop out its mouth while its mouth is shrinking. A mean DM would say the thing immediately explodes as it shrinks down on top of Shraga, thus ending the polymorph.
Polymorph a kraken while it has something.
A really scary DM would be like Shraga, make a saving throw. See if you can resist being polymorphed with it.
Hmm.
I turned the giant monster into a bunny. What about the guy that it had swallowed? He turns into an even smaller bunny.
That's a
in
good
the
point though,
bunny's
because when you
stomach.
polymorph something that probably has food in its stomach, and I guess Shraga would count as food.
I don't like that logic, but it's flawless.
Okay, so this is what they said. Because of the way polymorph works, changing a creature's entire composition, it modifies its insides to fit its new form. That includes food, because if the creature ate something poisonous that's not poisonous to it while it's in its true form, but would be poisonous in its new form, it would die instantly and go back to its true form. So all contents in its stomach is changed. If you polymorph him now, Shraga is polymorphed with it.
So Shraga,
That's just
but
part
so
of
this
its
becomes
food?
Honey I
Yeah,
Strong.
you are considered contents, like you would be considered when you polymorph someone, all their possessions are transformed with them. So if you you are considered a possession to this creature right now.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah.
I was only saying that as a joke in the end because I'm concentrating on haste.
Oh yeah.
It's still a good thing you brought up.
And that would be really bad to you, Noah, if I just ended haste with no.
I'm stunned.
I'm going to polymorph it into a goldfish.
Well, I'm
So then
just
what
a-
does
I'm just
Shraga
a silly
become?
little guy.
Shraga becomes a food flake.
A food flake for the duration of being a goldfish.
I'm actually kidding though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please don't do that, fellas.
Yeah, it's really a goldfish. The saltwater would kill it.
All right.
Yeah.
So Lucy, what do you do?
I'm going to panic because I
You're very
almost
close.
got eaten by the big thing.
And there's a shark here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way
Okay.
before it gets close to me. And I'm gonna moonfire it, or fancy version of.
It does not make that deck save, surprisingly. And it takes 6 damage.
Well, nobody trains sharks to be like seals and balance noses on, or balance balls on their noses and stuff like that. So sharks are not well known for their dexterity. Just saying.
Sea serpents are. But the sea serpent wasn't very quick this time.
And that'll be my turn.
Shark's turn. Hey, Donovar, how you doing?
I want you to do it. Hit me.
What's your armor class?
It's 20.
Yeah, it chomps the shit out of you.
Good.
Jump! And let's see. Let me look at the thing.
I take half damage.
Fight and grind. And let me find the things. I put them aside just for this too. How did I lose them already? You take 24 damage.
Take 12 damage.
12 damage as it chomps and pulls and rips. And you just get angrier. This shark is within range of Vosloth. Vosloth, make a strength check.
You have advantage.
However, you do not succeed, and you are chomped on, and you are now caught in the mouth of this thing because you're a tiny creature. But you only take 16 damage.
Take 8.
8 damage. And you are restrained.
I know how barbs work.
And Adonavar. Oh, Lucy, you're still in the edge.
Hey.
Donavar. What?
It hits.
We don't know yet.
It hits.
This one misses What? Wait, no, was it? No, it misses Donavar. And it does hit. It does hit dear old Lucy.
If it beats a 14, it hits.
It's possible to lose it.
How close are you to me, Lucy? I can hit it.
26 damage, Lucy.
Wow. Yeah, that's a that's
As
a
it
third of my
rips
HP
into you.
right there.
Lucy's
I rolled-
squishy.
I hit this thing for hitting Lucy.
Whack! And you just, it hits and does some amount of damage.
It does 40 damage, 23 radiant, 17
Smash!
slashing.
This thing is bloody and beaten and does not swallow. Poor old Lucy. And
Stay down.
other sharks do sharky things. This one goes... Where's my sharks that I have left? This shark goes that way. This shark
No.
goes that way. This shark goes that way. That shark goes that way. That shark kind of just stays where it's at. And this shark goes this way. And that is all the sharks, and it's Derek's turn. You
I'm
see a
going to
shark
let the
swimming
worm out
at
of the-
you out of the mist of blood.
I'm letting the worm out of the vial.
Where? Huh?
It's
I'm
all
kidding. I'm kidding.
I should have cut that thing in half when I had the chance!
I'm kidding.
You know, because you said that, the DM can take that seriously right now.
I could.
Yeah.
Rega, please do not. That was a joke.
Because we
Sorry.
busted him on wordplay, so he could bust us
Yeah,
on
you
wordplay.
did bust me on wordplay literally like 2 sessions ago.
I didn't.
So, go ahead and do what you're
so-
gonna do.
Okay. Alright, that's it. Yeah, I'm going to cast Innervation on the giant sea monster thing.
Okay.
And then, Dexterity save.
It makes it, and it doesn't take any damage from it.
It's gonna take 2d8 damage.
It would, but it did. It was very, very good at resisting your spell. It was just like, ah!
Get a natural 20.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're
that's my
curious, it was
turn.
on this lovely dice that was not in jail. Kind of got gold flakes in it.
You know what? It's jail.
That's another one, and it will fit inside. Now you have 3 dice in the dice jail.
See, it's one of those things where, like, you can throw a dice into a dice jail for rolling a natural 20. It's more you do it if it rolls multiple, because you just rolled the dice that rolled a 20, which means if it's a balanced dice, it shouldn't roll a 20 again. Not for a little bit.
I want ones that roll natural ones.
All right. So, do you have any other actions?
No.
All right, Vozloth, you are currently restrained. You can do the thing where you break out of a grapple. I think that's strength versus strength, if I recall correctly. Is that correct, Dragonheart?
You always have advantage while your rage is up, and unless you don't deal damage or you're not damaged, you always have advantage on strength.
And you absolutely break free with a 3 on the dice. So you break free, you rip open this thing's mouth with your. I just imagine you're just this little fucking chinchilla, and you're in its mouth, and you just go, and stretch open and pop out.
Mega, random question.
Yes.
If I die and the vial gets out of my bag or whatever, wouldn't the pressure break the glass, freeing the worm?
No, because the stuff that we have to keep us from being affected by the pressure affects all of our belongings and possessions.
But do
I
you
mean,
have
like, after
belongings
that
and
runs
possessions
out,
when
after
you're
we
dead?
die.
Oh yeah, sure. No, if you die down here, nobody grabs your corpse, then eventually, yeah, you poison the ocean. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
It would.
Although, if the pressure thing runs out, it's entirely possible that that poison thing won't be able to withstand 8,000 feet of pressure.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I better not die in this battle.
Yeah, probably.
Best not to.
So, Vozloth, what do you do now that you're free? I don't know what you can do. I don't know how much of an action that costs. Dragonheart?
Most
Broke a
escapes,
grapple.
most escapes require your action to escape.
Okay, so you have a bonus action.
As a monk, you could take your bonus action to go immediately with an unarmed strike for a key point.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know what you can do, because I know all the weird shit every class monks and barbarians can do off the top of my head.
Yeah, but like I have like I don't know Cheeto dust on my fingers right now. It's not really unarmed. Kind of is.
Yeah. But it's like you can make basically an attack as a bonus action if you spend a key point, because you do not make an attack as your action. That's how that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll use a key point. And can't I just do my astral strike?
You use an astral strike.
Do I still have advantage?
No.
No.
You can get advantage
I
by
mean,
recklessing. but
Shaga's
that's
kind of
not-
on the other side of the wall on the inside and sort of engaged. Like, it's not exactly on the opposite side, but you're also on the inside, so that's probably close enough.
Oh, so that is advantage?
Yeah, I'll give it to you with somebody on the inside. That'd be
Okay,
kind
so
of
you do have
distracting.
advantage.
That's flanking enough for me. Good job, Shraga.
Shraga, yeah.
Flip off the shark. And then gonna swing at it.
You hit?
26.
So that's on the shark.
Oh, then you wouldn't have advantage. I thought you were attacking the sea monster. No, you definitely missed that. With an 11. As the shark swoosh out of the way.
I don't know if there's anything else I can do.
I don't think so. A Donovar.
Okay. Operation Save Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy's getting
So-
chomped.
We're gonna start with we're gonna start again, going straight back into Reckless. So I'm gonna swing at Lucy's shark.
Yep.
It's 27 to hit the shark.
You definitely hit that shark.
All right, that's going to deal 24 radiant, 16 slashing for 40 damage.
as you cut right through its neck, and it dies.
Shark
Oh,
does or
freak.
the
The shark.
Shark dies.
yeah.
I'm not letting Lucy get nibbled on. If Lucy dies, I become paralyzed, and then I'm the one who gets auto crit.
By 2 sharks and a sea monster,
Not and
maybe.
our only healer dies.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah,
Um,
we didn't need the healer.
Yeah, everyone abandoned Lucy.
Poor
And then I'm gonna
Lucy.
flip around to attack the sea monster.
All right.
Doesn't hit. Okay.
No.
And then I will use my hasted action to attack this shark.
Okay. Good shark to attack. You hit,
23 to hit that one. And that is going to be...
and you smash right through its skull,
Yep.
destroying the shark.
And that's my turn.
And then sea monster. And spits out Shraga. And the tentacle.
The tentacle is not corporeal.
Oh, then the tentacle stays on the inside just doing tentacle things. And spits Shraga out. Before trying to chomp on Adonavar. Let me...
I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Hit me.
First one... Oh wait, no, we got that. So, first one misses. What's your armor class?
20.
And the second one hits. And the third chomp by the giant sea monster does hit. So the giant sea monster attacks and does... It's 2 of those. Just looking for dice. So 2, 4. $42 damage.
21 damage.
21 damage as it grabs you by a leg and flails you about, or chucking you back onto the coral reef. And that is its turn. Shraga.
Well, to start with, he is going to take... Oh. He's going to take 44 lightning damage.
From what?
Which bolt?
My spell?
Oh, you're
It's a
doing that.
concentration spell. That just
Yes.
stays on him, man.
44 damage.
And then I'm going to see that not everything is going great for the outside team, as Shraga is now referring to them all as. So he's going to swim up on this side of this dude, and he's going to try to... Actually, no. No, he's not going to swim right there. He's going to swim... Yeah, he's going to swim over here. And then he's going to try to lightning lure that thing away from Adonavar. So it needs to make a DC 18 strength save, or it takes 21 lightning damage,
It does not.
which is an
It does
amazing
take
roll.
21 lightning damage. How is that lightning being administered specifically?
It specifically, this is coming off of my artifact. My lance, my great spear is shocking him, and then if he fails it, he's pulled up next to me, and that triggers my lance's ability to make an attack on him.
21. Okay, so Adonavar, make a save, and Lucy take a save for 1 damage apiece.
Well, I have advantage on all.
What type of
dex
save?
Whatever.
save.
Dex save.
What are we trying to beat? Never mind.
18. So you take one one shock damage.
Mhm.
Ow!
I took it from the farthest point back of the shark, and it's -1 damage per foot. So they were
It's
just
to
within
deal
21
additional
feet.
lightning damage. Basically, it becomes an AO. All lightning spells become AOE spells
That get
in
further from their
underwater.
point of contact. They get lesser from their point of contact.
Did that kill the shark?
It did not kill the shark.
Then as it comes in, I swing a 28 and do 15 piercing damage as I stab it in the butt.
Is you stab it directly in the butt, and it slashes around and tries to get your sticker out of its ass, and it's just not having a good time. It looks fairly bloody and beaten, but it is still alive.
I haven't damaged that one, so that one was an undamaged one.
Yeah. Do you have any other actions, Shraga?
I do. But all it is I'm gonna have my little guy inside of him try to poke him with another 2 cold damage, so. Yeah, that doesn't even hit. Okay, now Shraga's done.
All right. Then we go to Lucy.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here.
Lucy's bite-sized.
And then I'm going to Moonfire the shark, so it needs to make a dex save throw.
Absolutely. What's the save? It does not make it, and it takes double damage. Taking 28 damage as your moonfire burns out the inside of its skull, and the shark dies. That seemed like a bit more powerful than you were expecting, though, Lucy.
64. Okay, so they have at least 64 HP.
I should have took quick and that'll be my turn.
All right, sharks. Shark Shraga. Shark Shraga. Let me move other things, then we'll Shark Derek.
Too far away for me to
Shark
help you guys.
Vazaloth.
It's too far
and-
away.
That is a... This one goes here.
Why are you all outside my reach?
This one goes where it's at. So then Shark Shragas attack Shraga. And miss the first attack. And what's your armor class, Shraga?
19.
Okay, it hits by 1. Sorry, buddy.
No, I'm beefy. I can take a hit.
And it attacks you, and it chomps down, crushing your armor beneath its teeth for a total of 28 damage. Vazaloth, make a strength save
Have advantage.
at advantage. Plus. You succeed, and you successfully ward off. You punch it with all of your anger in the nose as it tries to chomp you, and it just backs off for a second, stunned, and that ends that thing's turn. And we go over to Derek.
Yeah.
You don't have... Oh, no, no, no. Derek. I apologize.
Am I okay?
I don't know yet. I haven't rolled the dice, but...
Getting echo quiet.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no. Much damage.
That's what I'm counting. $38 damage
Okay.
as it chomps on and rips at your midsection before spitting you back out.
I'm at 18 hit points now.
That's a good amount of hit points to be at. I think that's all the sharks. And then it is Derek's turn. Was just been
going
savaged by a
door
shark.
away. Is that yellow shark right here in Amy?
No, that yellow shark's
No.
just a turn counter.
That's the turn counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to store over here.
All right.
And that's gotta be my turn.
Vaziloth. Sharks puncher extraordinaire.
Yeah, you have all your stuff now.
I finally have one more 4th level spell.
Oh wait, I
left.
forgot about this shark here. 1 second. You're lucky, Vaziloth. It went south.
Shark saw me punch the other shark in the face. Was like, maybe not. Got 2 hands for punching sharks. Alright, how many goddamn strikes do I have?
You have your action, which is 3 strikes. You have your bonus action, which can be 1 or 2. Because you're enraged, you are able to use your reckless attack if you want advantage. Otherwise, everything is flat.
So many things.
Say you get 3 attacks with your standard attack action.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Just realized something. How things that are gonna potentially happen.
Just FYI, we're almost 9:30.
That is true. We are. This will end. It will
Right.
end it on Vaziloth because Vaziloth's the last of this round.
We're gonna be ending the combat.
Well, we're gonna
Vaziloth's
take a
turn.
screenshot and we're gonna paste it somewhere.
Okay.
It's pushing like the
Take a screenshot of it and then
Hardcore.
upload it to Roll20 and put it on this map.
I
That
mean,
is actually a smart idea.
fair.
works.
It's not a smart idea, but it's a workable one.
No, actually, I think that's smart, but that's me.
It's
It's not a bad idea, really.
it's creative. Where did that
I'm
save
doing
you?
terribly.
You rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Oof.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, you just bam, 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 bam,
Someone
and you didn't hit a fucking thing.
I'm too angry. I can't aim.
I would have screenshotted like once it was out of Anavar's turn, because I feel like we're gonna mistake and think it's Vazlov's turn. There we go.
Hello, it is I. I am next.
And Vaziloth just wailing away at this shark, just smash, 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 and the shark's like, what the fuck is going on? Why is my lunch trying to beat me with its little tiny fists?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay.
And with that, we will end the combat. We will finish up next time. I don't know what you're gonna do. I liked your throw a big rock and blow it up inside of it idea, but you didn't go with that.
Okay, we just winging
There's
it now.
nothing to explode.
I mean, you could have gotten like coral or there was
Yes, 'cause
normal
Cole's
rock.
gonna deal a lot of damage.
World doesn't explode though.
That's true.
Without something to make it explode.
Well, that's why you
the
had
reason why I was
shatter.
asking about thing. Okay, if I shatter coral, then that's just shattering coral. If you shatter
true.
obsidian, and obsidian is the sharpest material known to man, that's a lot of fucking damage.
That's true.
Coral is just pokey.
Mm-hmm.
Shark's teeth.
So when do we get a Pokeball to catch this thing?
It's a good question, but you guys have done
Polymorph it to a Bidoof first.
relatively well for combat. You guys are in decent shape. You haven't had to use your mass healing word yet, so I feel like you've still got a good amount of fight left in you guys. I could be wrong. I don't
I
understand.
know the dimension door one more time.
I
So-
mean, Derek's almost dead. Luckily, he dimension doored away from the shark again.
Yes,
This time, not leaving Lucy in massive danger in
That's
the
true.
process.
poor Lucy got jumped.
In
Listen, just
danger,
disengage
she was
and come
just
to me.
sharing the danger with him, and he chose not to, like, you know, participate.
I will, if as long as people stay within 10 feet of me, I'm able to react to attack someone who attacks you. So, or more of, if you're within a certain distance with me and the shark shows up and they're within 10 feet of me, I can attack them.
My problem is I can't stay within 10 feet of you because if it does that whirlwind attack again,
We're going.
You're going in.
fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are definitely
Disadvantage at
dangers.
-3, I will fail.
Yeah, you're fine. It's more of like other fighting class people. Get the fuck over
Yeah.
here.
Well, with that, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for playing. We will have more D&D in theory on Sunday.